up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, another one. Victory show. Detroit Pistons. You know what? They did something, Flannel Sam, that I know a lot of fans who believe in them and love what they see this year, they were a little bit skeptical of. Because in the past, we know, one, it's tough to beat a team twice in a row.
Yeah.
But people were like, look, they should win 2 in a row, but they might just split. No, instead, they go out there and they bludgeon the Bulls.
Yeah.
2 games in a row after JB Bickerstaff showed up to the press conference room, bro, pissed off after a win because he said they didn't play up to their standards. Do you think that those last 2 games was a little bit more to the standards?
Yes. And that's why I know we've already talked about it. I love the fact that JB Bickerstaff isn't just like, at least we won that Hornets game. Everybody knew that it was unacceptable to let that 30-point lead dwindle down to 2 at its worst. You're happy with the win, but you're also happy that JB Bickerstaff found some teachable moments, even in wins, which is what a good coach does, particularly with a young team. And yeah, the Pistons took it out on the Bulls in Chicago, and now we can ha at the Bulls. I was a little skeptical of doing it after 1 win because they had a chance to get their get back, but they did not. The get back was not got. Not even a little bit. The Bulls stink. They quit. They blow.
Hey, look, it's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off the day with the WUW Crew. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this thing, so go on ahead and smash that like button. Let's run up those likes. It's All-Star break. Asar Thompson, rising star. Cade Cunningham is an all-star, and he just continues to absolutely dazzle. And we got to break this down, man. We got to break it down. Hey, it's your boy Brandon Day, aka Detroit Kool-Aid, credential Pistons reporter, writer for the network, Flannel Sam, ball knower, Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, vet of the squad, go blue lover, and so many more things here that we can even talk about. But the Pistons, they just take center stage right now, even in a world where there was some breaking news last night as it pertains in relation to our Tigers. But we start here, 128-110 victory over the Bulls. They send the Bulls to 22-33. The Pistons now 29-26 on the season, and really in a good position. I know Rod said he really wanted to see what they would do in this game because of what it means versus who they were last year and this year. We know that they've already kind of gone through blown past expectations. But just to see them go out there and handle that, man, I'm telling you, bro, it was like a sense of pride. That was like, you know what? Definitely. So I had to bust out the always Detroit basketball shirt today.
Oh, man. Was that not a beautiful game or what? Was that not a beautiful 2-day stretch in Chicago or what? I don't know if anybody's had a better 2-day stretch in Chicago than the Pistons just did. I mean, when I look at last night's game, I look at the same formula that's been working for them lately and even to some extent the whole season. Cade Cunningham, all NBA type player, MVP candidate player. More on that later. 29, 5 and 7, 9 of 19 field goal percentage. He just did what Cade Cunningham does. But also, what have we been talking about? We've been talking about the marked improvement of Jalen Duren. He was unbelievable last night. 16 points, 14 boards. You obviously love that. 4 stocks.
Give me those stocks.
Hey,
you know I love my stocks.
Kool-Aid loves them stocks, but as he should, because a player like Duren should get the stocks. But also,
preach it, bro.
Playmaker Jalen Duren. I kind of feel like, and I know that he's always had that in his game, but when it comes to Jalen Duren, I kind of feel like Boobie Miles' Uncle LV, and he can pass. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now because you're seeing that element from him. Asar Thompson, I mean, what more can you say about that guy? Unbelievable.
People told me I was crazy when I continued to say, look, I really do believe Asar. I love what Amon does. I really do believe that Asar Thompson is the better of the twins.
He is better. I'm going to say, Weezy, again,
since the draft,
again,
man.
You as well, Kool-Aid. I was not on that train. I like Amon as a player too. I think it says a lot about the Thompson twins as a whole that they're both having success. But 19, 5, and 7 on 8 of 10 from the floor. That man has become one of the best passers on the team, which he probably always was, and one of the most efficient players over the past, February, last couple of games of January. He's been as efficient as any player in the National Basketball Association. I understand that he's not putting up like the prodigious numbers, but as far as what was expected of Ausar Thompson, man, like he's opening my eyes to the point where I think he can be even better than I thought that he was going to be.
Yeah, he's going to be a fantastic player, especially when you factor in the two-way ability of Ausar Thompson. Defensively, he is a menace. Nothing is safe. Nobody is safe. No ball handler, nobody that plays in the paint, nobody that's trying to drive into the paint. And it's awesome. Now that I see how the makeup of this team is, it gets even more spectacular what JB Bickerstaff is able to get out of this team defensively. And I stumbled upon a clip, JB Smooth. Do you have that clip of JB Bickerstaff? Because you guys have heard me talk about the fact that for some reason the defense this year, it looks a lot more connected. They're moving more like they're on a rope. You guys can rerun the tapes. And now I understand that this is, obviously we know this is going to be JB Bickerstaff's principles, but the coach's coach, like I call him, man, it's really interesting to see and hear him break it down, man. Let's play that clip.
At 7 feet, 6'9", and 7 feet, there to protect your paint. Darius does a good job of being in help position. Karras does a great job in being in help position. Our aim is to protect the paint. So you've got body in the paint, 7-footer who's capable. We're shrinking. Not many angles for him to drive and attack.
I was going to say the biggest thing that popped off is the help that's shown because, as you mentioned, the angles are not there. So while you do have the size, everyone's also on a string. How important is that, especially as you face different teams who may attack in different ways?
I mean, if you're going to protect the paint, the rules are set up for individual players to play one-on-one.
Coach's coach, man. I was preaching. I probably just blew my whole load for this segment during
That's okay.
While he was talking, but
Whoa there.
Hey, you know what, man? It is what it is. Because it's so much better this season when you're able to actually understand what the coach is saying, have a conversation with them. He's honest about where they go wrong, honest about where he goes wrong, and then you instantly see them implementing the things that they state. It's not just, oh man, we got to figure this out. You actually see them going out there and doing that. And when you look at what this Detroit Pistons team has been, especially since January 1st, they've been one of the best teams in the league defensively, and they've been one of the best teams in the league as it relates to turning defense to offense and getting out into transition. Yep. These are some of the things that's helped spur their 29-26 start to the season. I'm going to say this, me personally, my first half coach of the year, I'm giving it to JB Bickerstaff. The defense and how he explained it there, it's exactly what we're seeing on display here. It's that zone with man principles, but your principle is to cut off the angles. It's not necessarily even play the man straight up. It's that play the angles, make it harder for them, because last year we saw a lot of guys just waltzing into the middle. KG, we had those conversations a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Especially the Desmond Bain one was where I felt like walking up to the desk and flanneling it with my head. Just straight up, man. But
fair.
Yeah, but this year you see them able to play those passing lanes a lot better, and it does help when you have Ausar Thompson taking that leap. You add a Ron Holland to the mix instead of it being like Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic back there. So you got some dogs that can actually play it, and you got JB Bickerstaff putting them in the right position, and they do look like a more connected team both offensively and defensively.
Oh, 100%. And speaking of Ausar Thompson, you know how I said just a couple of minutes ago that just watching him and looking at his numbers and looking at what he provides as a two-way player, that during this stretch of great Pistons basketball, that to me, Ausar Thompson has been one of the most efficient players in the entire NBA. He doesn't even play that many minutes. He plays 25 minutes a game. I mean, in the month of February, where the Pistons have gone on this run, and even in the last couple of games of January, Ausar Thompson is giving you about 25 minutes a game, maybe even a little bit less. That's about half the game, and he's putting up those kind of numbers.
They're still ramping them up, and imagine, my thing is if he can do that, I'm so glad you highlighted that, just continue that through the season, and then in the playoffs, just unleash.
Yes.
That's what I want, because I don't know how serious this blood clot issue is. I know that it's very serious, because I have issues like heart issues as well that cut the college career short. And so I'm glad that the NBA, they took extra months, even after the Pistons cleared him, to say, you know what, we just want to make sure that he is okay. And so if they can continue with this, allow him to continue to ramp up, because he missed like the first 20 games of the season. Yeah. So think about that. He's not even in the type of full season shape that everybody else is. So I think that when they make the playoffs, unleash Asar Thompson.
He is so much fun to watch, and as we said at the beginning of the year, he is big. And that helps him as well. Helps him finish at the rim, helps him with his defense and rim protect at times. It gives him the ability to guard even certain 4s and 5s, man. Asar Thompson, in terms of players growing in my eyes, because I wasn't always a huge Asar guy, I will admit it. I'm now like, you know, he's turning into almost like a borderline godson. And I will say this. I have no right to call Asar Thompson a godson, because I think it has to be someone you've always believed in to that extent. But the point is that with new information, I'm like becoming an Asar Thompson fanboy. How could you not? Look at how he's played.
Yeah, and I get it, man, because there are prospects that I've been wrong on, prospects that I feel like I've been right on. And honestly, with this one in particular, it was the ability, when I saw him playing at Overtime Elite, that he showed flashes of, and it's just facilitation, of like Cade. He was probing. It wasn't like he was really looking for his. But then there were situations where I was looking at the film when someone told me, like, look at it, you know, obviously when Amon goes to the bench. And when I saw that, Asar was able to easily take over games. And he looked just like Amon Thompson, no pun intended. You know what I mean? And that to me is where I started saying, you know what? I really like what he can be, because when you're talking about already having your 1A and your 1B and Cade and Jaden Ivey, you need a player that can blend in, but you also need a player that can step up when you need. And what have we seen out of Asar Thompson? He can blend in, but when the usage has called for him, whether the minutes go up or not, the usage has gone up for him, especially with Jaden Ivey down. What have we seen him do? Step up. When Cade Cunningham was out, and everyone was like, oh, man, this is a loss. What did he do? Step up. Yeah. And that's what I've seen all the time.
They got us.
Pistons is on
damn,
fire.
They got us.
I'm fired up, boy. I'm fired up. We said a couple games over 500 by the break, and look what the Pistons done
They
did,
set
man.
the alarm, dog.
Woo!
Alarm.
Hit that like button for these fired up Pistons right now. What up, though, KG?
Hey, man. What's happening? What is happening right now? But I mean, y'all said it. Y'all said everything that needs to be said about Asar Thompson, man. He is an absolute demon as a two-way player in this league, and he's only getting better and better by the game. And he reminds me of Hutch in a way that, you know, his motor. He's a guy that doesn't take sets off. He doesn't take plays off. He just continues to go out here, and we're going to be on fire, and we're just going to keep talking sports. But, you know,
shout out in here right now.
Shout out to the way this team is playing right now. They playing with energy, a passion, and you just love to see it, man.
Hey, speaking of which, Mitten Maid, Beasley set off the alarm. Yes.
Yes. He's on fire.
And of course, last night, lost and everything. He was just, you know, a casual 4 of 6 from 3.
Yeah.
But that's the difference with this team. They're able to withstand injury to one of their best players. They're able to withstand with one of their better players has an off night. That's what's so intriguing about this squad, because that's what I'm saying, at the end of the season, I believe the Pistons are going to be one of the teams with the best chemistry and the best understanding of each other. The best connectivity as a team, man. And it got me fired up, dog. It really does.
All right. Well, I think it's a good time to go to break.
Yeah. Hit that like button just in case we're not here on the other side of it.
Yeah, just in case we got to evacuate. But if we can't do the show here, I could always evacuate. We all should to Planet Fitness, right? No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 Planet Fitness studios and thousands more throughout the world. We've done remote shows from there. Let's just take it on the road. Actually, no, that would too much pressure. I'm going home. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as an unlimited use of the Black Card spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 22,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
Sam's a pro.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment. from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. And no, we have not died yet. We're still alive. But scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000. All you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And you know what? If it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. Scan the QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. Make some money today.
DJ, run that shit back.
Hey, what up? Jackie Smooth, be on it, dog. Oh, man, you know what? Let's introduce the crew. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder, that dude Justin. We got, I would say Cavassier Chase, but he's been on his Chase GPT. He figured all this out in 15 seconds.
Right.
Our escape path. If anybody else was like in imminent danger.
Chase is Jason Statham.
Bro, it was crazy. He was like, I looked over at Birmingham Roast. No one in there was reacting with any issue. So, hey, but I still had the escape path. I'm like, yo, what up, though? Chase GPT.
For my deductions.
Hey, I took safety pup training in kindergarten very seriously, bro. They took us to Fallahy Road, and my guy Greg in the chat's gonna know right where I'm talking about. The old factory right near the Dayton Freight shipping. And yeah, we did safety training, all this stuff, and it just stuck in my head. I remember everything they taught us from kindergarten. We went back first grade and second grade, so. Thank you, Minnie Arnold Elementary and the Michigan Center Public School System for the safety training as a young lad.
Hey, Steve-O baby said that Kay Cunningham dunk last night set the alarm off. That switch hand?
Yeah.
With my
yes,
left?
it did. Yes, it
on
did.
your head, bro. Hey, Detroit's #1 draft pick that is KG in the sound booth. What up, though?
I like how you tossed it to me as soon as the alarm went off. But it's all good, man. It's all good. We're not on fire. We are alive and well. And they can't stop us, bro. You see how they try to hate on us, bro? Try to start the alarm and shit. We good, man. We good.
Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That's JB Smooth.
I made it. We made it.
We survived.
We survived.
We persevered.
We also made it in here as well today. I think we need snow days.
It's a lot of snow out there, bro.
I feel like we need snow days, and also to follow up Chase's middle school adventures he's been having over here. How come back in the day when there was a tornado or something like that, it was just, you know what, stay in this hallway, put your head down. But nowadays kids can just stay home whenever they want. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Some bullshit.
It is, man. I remember back in the day sludging through, and now I'm that guy, I guess.
Man, what? DPS don't close for shit, man. That motherfucker could be literally on fire. You still got to go to class.
Expect me here at 8 a.m.
Right.
But hey, you know what? A little bit more Detroit Pistons. They have earned it. 29-26 at the All-Star break. And you know what? Even though they didn't gain any ground on Milwaukee or Indiana after last night, because there's still a game back of Milwaukee, 2 games back of Indiana, what I do like is that they put some more distance, though, between them and Orlando, Miami, Atlanta, and Chicago. Do y'all, like when I just look at it here now, they have at least 2.5 games in between them and everybody else in the play-in.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful. They've set themselves up beautifully, especially when you're looking at the rest of the season here and you realize these games are winding down to the end. It's not too many games left.
Not too many games left, and that's what stood out to me about the standings as well. Obviously, you really would have liked the Timberwolves to help us out last night. They had a golden opportunity at home with Giannis and Dame both out, and they didn't get it done. But at the end of the day, though, the Pistons being the 6th seed, being not in imminent danger as of right now of falling to that play-in spot, you absolutely love to see it. It's I used to dream about times like these. Even at the beginning of the year, if we would have been told at the All-Star break they were at the 10 seed in terms of the play-in, we would have taken it. And they've exceeded that to the point where anything short of the 6th seed would be incredibly disappointing. Don't you love it when your expectations change mid-season?
Yep. 6th seed is now the floor for me. Yeah. I'm not going to scoff if they make the play-in. But it's like, you see it. You are a 6th seed team this year, Detroit Pistons. And don't expect or accept anything less. And they've stepped to the podium and stated, we want the playoffs. And that, to me, was very, very reassuring. And when you pair that up with J.B. Bickerstaff saying what their standard is, even in victories, is where I do believe they're going to make it. The ceiling, go out there and snatch that 4th seed. Go out there and snatch it, because then you probably set up a matchup, a 4-5 matchup with the Pacers. And wouldn't that be beautiful?
Home court.
That's what I'm saying. But they have it. You see it. Yeah. You see it. If they can just down the stretch, put together the chemistry aspect. Get some of their guys consistently, like we've seen over the last week or so, on the same page more and more offensively. It's beautiful when you're able to look into the box score and see 5, 6, 7 names in double figures. But you know what I love too? When I look into the box score and I do see an efficient 8 points and 5 rebounds from Ron Holland. When I look in the box and I see Stewart's putting up 8 and 8 with his minutes, which we know he's not getting sometimes those starter minutes that he used to. So it's like seeing that contribution from everybody. That's what's making the difference here. I saw somebody in the chat earlier. I'm sorry. I lost it, but they were like, bro, K put up 29, and it didn't even feel like he went off.
It didn't.
And Beasley was able to have a pedestrian night by his standards, and the Pistons still put BTA. It
was wonderful to watch. I'm glad you mentioned Isaiah Stewart, because he was fantastic last night as well on both ends of the court. However, there is one man we have not mentioned yet, Tobias Harris, continuing that heater. Another 19, 6 of 11.
How many rebounds did he have?
I think he got 5. I think he got 5.
That's the key stat right there. That's the key stat.
I'm okay with that.
I have to.
Wait, what?
If he plays like that every night, I'm not going to complain about Tobias Harris.
Hey, will you take that?
Every night.
All right. So, because of what happened yesterday, I feel like I have to do this again. In the last 9 games, in which the Pistons are 6-3, and I feel like I have to give this disclaimer: not asking you guys to like him as a player, not asking you guys to not be disappointed by parts of the season, particularly at the beginning, not trying to victory lap, because we all, I think, got off the Tobias train to some extent, myself included, KG included. I don't know about you, Kool-Aid, but the reality he wasn't getting it done at the beginning of the year. But in the last 9 games, 18 points per game on 54% shooting. JB and Chase, one attaboy, and I won't bother you for
taking the glasses
I won't
off
bother you for the immediate future.
They can't do it.
I'm looking at
you. They can't do it.
You're the voice
they
of reason.
Can't do it.
One
Look at
attaboy.
JB over there. Look at him.
Look at JB, dog.
It's okay.
The suspense is
It's
killing
a safe
me.
space, bro.
It's building up.
It's okay.
This tension,
Adam.
dog. Hey! He gave him an Adam, not attaboy, but we'll take that one. We'll take it.
See, I don't know if I will take it.
Say I'm going for more. Turn up, Sam.
Wait, I'll go to Chase.
You know Chase ain't finna give it
I'll
to you.
give one attaboy for the last 9 games.
Yeah, my gripe with him has always just been his usage. Wait, I'm not done.
That is a no.
My gripe with him has always just been his usage. I always thought he should be coming off the bench. I didn't think he should be starting. But if he's going to play like he has the last 9 games, and we can consider maybe moving him off the bench.
Chase, nobody asked you that. We
I'll
asked you, would you give him an attaboy?
I'll finish JB's Atta, and I'll just simply say, boy.
All right, the combined attaboy, because I'm not trying to be, a prick about it. I just want us to feel free and that it's a judgment-free zone, that you can praise someone when they're doing well, and I'm not going to accuse you of flip-flopping or anything like that. Because
he's been playing better.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. And
like pulling teeth.
And honestly, and I think JB and Chase will agree with this as well, it's important to the team that he does play better.
Yes.
Yeah. With me, the stance I've taken with him is I need those shooting splits. I've been consistent with that all year. And that's where even when Ivy went down, I was like, I'm going to criticize him. It's disappointing because he's not giving what he's supposed to, but I still said if the Pistons are going to have the success, it's going to be because Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris take that next step, which we all know that they can. I thought that they had, after that first 20, 30 games, that's when I was like, no, bro, they have more than enough right now to go up there. And I started talking about the 5th and even the 4th seed. Mm-hmm. But at that point in time, I was like, I believe that ceiling might be the 5th seed for the squad because they had a lot of talent, but we had some people that were underperforming. The defense wasn't really hitting like that at the time, but something changed. Now this team, they're in more of a rhythm. We've heard Jalen Duren step up to the podium and say, you know what, I was on some soft dish. When a player does that, it's not just what the coach is doing. This is when the team trusts each other. Mm-hmm. This is when the brothers have each other's backs. Because for a player to step to the podium and state that, then you know that this is something where all of them probably had their little powwows. Especially probably after 0-4 start to the season. You can't, after setting 28-game losing streak, the record last year. So it's like these guys are well aware. We've all known Jalen Duren, bro, you are a freak of nature. There's not many people that can contend with you in this NBA. And now all of a sudden, when we see him go out there and play bully, who's stopping him? Who's stopping him? Like, and that's what I'm saying. It's realistically, it's him realistically. If it's that determines what type of Jalen Duren stat line we're gonna see, because when he goes out there and we see him on those little streaks, is where I'm just like, golly, this is why Troy identified him. This is why Troy tied up that first round draft pick. People are always like, man, we don't got our first round. Jalen Duren's why. Jalen Duren is why. That's the reason why. And if he's the reason why, that's an acceptable one with what we're seeing right now to Jalen Duren.
And I'll be honest, I think I was definitely in the camp of Jalen Duren's got to be better. I don't think that was controversial. You can accuse me of flip-flopping or anything like that. But, like, I will say this, and it's definitely, and you know this better than anyone. I know this when I was there for a couple of games. Jalen Duren as a rim runner when he is engaged is porn.
Yes, yeah.
And you said the key word, engaged.
Engaged. And honestly, if you're a Jalen Duren, this is where I have to give him a lot of credit. How difficult must it be for a Jalen Duren who is a physical beast, who has been probably the biggest and baddest man on every court he was on, at least in high school, and then many of them in college at Memphis as well, to openly admit, I was on some soft-ish. That's difficult.
Yeah.
And he did it, and ever since then, he's been exactly what we wanted and more. And as I said before, playmaker Duren, I love to see that as well.
Yeah.
I do. And that's something he's shown some flashes of. And you know where it's going to get better? Mm-hmm. When he does the other thing that we see him working on in practice, hitting those little McDyke 16-footers. When he can do that, that's almost as potent as Ron Holland shooting 34, 33, 36% from behind the arc. Jalen Duren is going to be a completely different animal because he does have a little bit of handle. He can hit you with the pump fake. We see him do these things in the shoot-arounds and in the practices as well when they're doing individuals. Yeah. And so to see him now operating as a hub from the middle, that is progress. You look at the last couple of years, yes, he's shown he could pass, but now he's doing this within a system where he is being relied upon to be realistically a point center. And you look at his assists over like the last 20 games and you realize he's passing the test.
He is.
Yeah. And the passes are on the money, man.
Yes.
To Stu, to Asar, to Fontecchio, to Cade. He's that part of his game taking a leap. That is crazy because think about what it does for the spacing. You throw it into him, and then the defense has to reset. Yeah. You can't double team. You're going to double team Duren at the free throw line? But that's the thing. They always think about it, and then bloop, Asar Thompson's right behind you. And that's the point.
Hey, speaking of porn, Asar Thompson as a cutter.
Oh man, he could get to the basket at will, bro. I swear.
Like, I might need to, head off to a private room if we can. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
My Moneyball dream. Well, the man that I have erotic dreams of.
Anywho,
$24.99.
I probably shouldn't have said that, but the point is that the improvement, with Asar Thompson, you can point to improvement, but also more usage as he's getting more minutes, as he's getting more comfortable, as he's entering the starting lineup. So with the improvement, with the greater usage of Asar and the improvement of Duren, it's just been a thing of beauty to watch. It's helped this team. It's helped Cade Cunningham. Those two are the recipients. When I talk about easy looks, they get more than anybody on the Pistons by far. Those are the ones that I'm really talking about because they cannot be stopped when they are cutting or running to the rim. They cannot. They are too big. They are too athletic. And they're just too big and too athletic. And when they want to, they can put their damn elbows in the rim, dunking so hard.
Yeah, they can, man. And you know what? All-Star, it is upon us here. And shout out to Asar Thompson, who is an injury fill-in, injury reserve for the Rising Stars game. He will be playing with his brother, Amon Thompson. Yeah. And shout out to, as well, Cade Cunningham, first-time All-Star. The first All-Star for the Detroit Pistons since Blake Griffin. And honestly, he's going to lead the Pistons to their highest playoff seeding since going to work Pistons.
I think so.
And there were 8 seeds the last couple times that they made it. So at this pace right now, he's going to lead them to some heights that they haven't been at in a very long time. This All-Star game is very deserving. And I know a lot of people are piling on his team because you look at some of these other squads and it looks like they want Team 1 and Team 3 to be matched up in the finals because they're on opposite ends of the bracket. You look at the names that are there. But when I look at Cade Cunningham, that's why I'm like, look what he's already doing with these Pistons. Count out my dog. Count out Cade Cunningham, man. And let's see what happens out there. Because if he goes out there in the All-Star game and just doesn't really care about the hierarchy because he's on the Young Stars team, there's no hierarchy to care about, bro. Just go out there and be Cade Cunningham. And congratulations to him. We'll be out Friday and Monday as it relates to All-Star Weekend. And cannot wait to be there, man. I can't wait to really boots on the ground and experience just the vibes in the city and see the reception for Cade Cunningham. I know Shanola, watchmaker Shanola, Detroit, they teamed up with the Detroit Pistons to create this kind of wall of Cade out of watches and such to commemorate his first All-Star appearance. Nice. So we'll be down there. Going to try and get down there and capture all of the Detroit Pistons stuff that I can. Talk to some of the legends out there about who Cade Cunningham is, and gonna try and do a stream with you guys while I'm out there as well, so we can keep the people all the content that you can get as it relates to All-Star Weekend and our guys out there in Detroit. So beautiful.
Have fun in San Fran, Kool-Aid. And before we get to the biggest news of the day, actually, even overshadowed the Pistons. I got to read this from Dante151. Tobias Harris plus minus for the Pistons on the floor versus on the bench in January was plus 98 for 344 minutes and on the floor versus minus 57 on the bench. So this was even when Tobias Harris was not putting up the stat lines that he was now. The reality is that Tobias Harris is a valuable piece for the team. He's here, and when he plays better, it works for the Pistons because he's another one that is the recipient of a lot of the gets a lot of the good looks at the basket, and his mid-range has never been questioned. If you want to gripe about his three-point shooting, I get it, but the Pistons are winning, and you can see when you watch him that he's helping, he's contributing to playing winning basketball.
It's well stated, man. Yep. Well stated. These Detroit Pistons, they got to keep it up. Obviously, post-All-Star break, there are some favorable stretches there for them. But you guys know on our Woodward Pistons, people who tap in there, you got to survive those West Coast road trips. And they have one that they're going to have to get through. And I believe it is favorable for the Pistons. Hey, listen, is this appropriate? Their floor, if we're setting the new expectations, is the 6th seed, ceiling 4th seed?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And before we get to merch, I just have a joke I wanna share with all you guys.
Yes, sir.
He announced the joke before the joke. So.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not Alex Bregman. Tell us about merch.
Oh, damn, that was low. Oh,
damn.
Man.
Dang.
You just ripped the Band-Aid off that quick. I can't believe that. Flannel. God. But hey, let me tell you about some Woodward Sports merch we got going on over here that Alex Bregman will not be wearing, unfortunately. You go to WoodwardSports.com, click on the shop tab. We got the LFG Red Wings hoodies, t-shirts. You also got DMAC 313 as well, too. You could have had it here, man. And we also got the Woodward Tigers gear as well, too, that Bregman will not be wearing, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So head over to WoodwardSports.com, click on that shop tab, get swagged out.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you will. We got Tully, everybody.
This guy's got a hot girl. Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
At Lady Jane's, we take the charge of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage, a hot leather neck shave, that's my favorite, man, and a hot towel treatment. Hey, listen,
Towel placement varies.
No Tucker stuff in here. None of the Tuckers, right? Hey, so make sure that you ask. Be respectful to your stylist. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts, man, it's wicked awesome. Oh, goodness. I'm still reeling from Flannel's joke on the other side of the break, man. But you know what? The news is out there. The Detroit Tigers, they on Alex Bregman. He signs a 3-year, $120 million deal with the Red Sox. And part of it, sometimes with deals like this, when you're going after a player and they sign with somebody that can be in direct contention with you, it's just like, But you know what? I'm glad that you kind of prefaced these things before this news that the Tigers, without Bregman, already, at least to you, and I know we all kind of agreed as well, they are going to be formidable in this AL Central and have a great chance to win it even without Bregman because of some of the minor moves that they've made. But I do got to tip the cap to Chris Ilitch because some of the reports and rumors were that he did go out there to try and sign Alex Bregman. He did put the money on the table, but this was a situation for at least Bregman that wasn't as attractive to him. And that, you got to tip the cap to Ilitch, but then you also have to ask yourself, why would people not want, when you're coming up and you're actually putting the money out there, why would people turn that down? But Alex Bregman to the Red Sox, Final Sam.
Yeah. Alex Bregman to the Red Sox signs a 3-year, $120 million contract with the Red Sox with an with 2 opt-out opportunities. So it could end up being a 1-year deal. And I'll say this, $40 million a year for Alex Bregman is insane.
Yeah, nuts.
However, I think there's still people around here that might have been okay with that because the term is so short, there's opt-outs and whatnot. Because as we mentioned before, and Evan Petzold reported it, the Tigers offered Alex Bregman a 6-year, $170, I think it was $1 million contract. And they have, in that contract, he would be able to opt out after 2026. And also, which actually, the reason why I think you have to give Ilitch and Harris credit for this offer is because when you look at what his old team, the Astros, offered him, and this is according to Underdog MLB, the Astros offered him 6 years, $156 million, so the same amount of term but less money. The Tigers made an effort. They gave Alex Bregman a deal which I think is very fair, very maybe even a little bit of an overpay, but this is the market. This just is what it is.
And it met the reports of the amount of years that this Alex Bregman wanted.
Yes, I think in this case, you can't say anything about Chris Ilitch and you can't say anything about Scott Harris. It's just, would I have wanted the Tigers to try something, 40 million AAV for 3 years, opt-outs? I don't necessarily know. I just, when you turn this down this amount of guaranteed money, I think it's just clear as day that Detroit wasn't one of Alex Bregman's preferred destinations, and a team like the Red Sox, he just wanted to be there more.
Yeah. I see Mark Lorette in the chat says, Bregman scared of Comerica Park. Deal wouldn't have aged well. Re-sign Scoob and trade for Arenado. And you know, KG, I know that you got some strong opinions about this as well, man.
Yeah.
I do tip the cap to Chris Ilitch, but you think that a little bit of his reputation might have been working against him?
Well, I mean, with things like this, once again, the answer lies in the middle. It's not, one side or the other. It's a little bit of gray area when it comes to this. On the surface, you gave him 6 years, $171 million, which equals out to maybe around $28 million per year. I think you gave him the best offer that you could have possibly gave him. The word on the street is that he wanted a long-term deal, and that also he wanted to opt out after 2025, in which the Tigers would not give to him. So, they gave him the 2026 opt-out. You gave him as many years as he wanted. That shows me that he just didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
And, if you don't, that's cool. Well wishes to you, not really, because you play for the Red Sox now. But it is what it is. I would not have paid the price that the Red Sox paid for Alex Bregman. Like you said, $40 million a year is a little bit. That's a little bit crazy for an aging player that is still productive. Let's not mistake it.
Because I know people be like, "Oh, well, there's no cap in baseball, so just spend the money." Listen, when you have an owner right now who, if something doesn't work out, may get more like apprehensive about spending the money.
Yeah.
That's why you do want to make sure if you're cashing out, it's for the right types of players, so he doesn't get more clammed up. We've to hear the report, I'm sitting there like, wow, okay, he did something.
And we understand you don't want another, Miggy situation at the end of his career. You don't want another Javi Baez situation. So I can understand that. But to me, as a fan, I can be disappointed as well. While I do give Chris credit for actually going out there and giving him a reasonable offer that he just turned down and you just lost out on him, that's fine. But the fact that you went out there and you spent your whole offseason to get one guy, all reports have said that was their biggest free agent target this year was Alex Bregman. And we went into the offseason, we went into winter meetings, and now we're damn near in spring. And you couldn't get this deal done for one guy. It's kind of disappointing, and I think some of Chris Ilitch's track record maybe is working against him. If he was an owner that went out there and spent money, maybe I wouldn't be as upset as a fan that you didn't get him. I could be like, okay, well, I know he's vigilant for the next player. I know he's not afraid to go back out there in the market and do something. But the fact that you have this history working against you, that you are just tight-lipped, you don't really give up the pocketbook, I think it hurts a little bit more as Tigers fans at a position of need.
Steve Wilds believes that Bregman just used the Tigers to get the cash.
Maybe.
And you know what Broder says? The Tigers dodged a freaking bullet. I know you got some strong opinions on it all too, Cavassier Chase GPT. What up, though, man?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I was just talking with KG about it during the break and stuff, and he's just talking about wanting to go after Nolan Arenado, and Maz brought that up yesterday too. And I think in hindsight, after the Bregman deal, it's always easy to kind of bring that up, but in reality, it was always going to be easier to sign a free agent than to go and try and trade for another older player who has a lot of term, a lot of money on his deal, with also a no trade clause. So I mean, it's something that we could possibly think about pivoting to and going after now. But I mean,
and Chase,
we made the offer. Sorry, go ahead.
No, my bad. But just to add to that, I just wish they had a backup plan.
Yeah,
that's all. That's my main reason. If you spent your whole offseason on Bregman and you realized this deal was going to take way longer than it should have, you should have had a backup plan in place.
I mean, I hear you. I don't know anybody else who I've heard mentioned by like fans is like who we wanted to go after the whole offseason has just been like Bregman. And now that like, we did our part, we offered him the best like contract as far as like term and value. And he just simply said like, I don't want to come here, and he chose a different team. And that's not on the Tigers. It's not on ownership. That's just a player making a decision, and well within their right to as well. And like now we have to find something else to do. And like, is there a backup plan in place? Like, most likely, and I'm sure there is. But at the end of the day, like, Bregman was going to play like a solid 3 or 4 years is what people expected. We probably would have ate a little bit of the last 2 years of the deal. We're waiting for the young guys to come up and really like expand this this potential of this team over the next few years.
Yeah, and I think the issue is, and Chase, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and KG, I understand where you're coming with as well, is that when you look at what their potential backup plan could be to an Alex Bregman, and I'm somebody who thinks that they're still going to win the Central with or without Bregman, you're looking at who's available, and it's a boulevard of broken dreams. It just is. Do we want Mark Canha back? I actually wouldn't mind it because I like Mark Canha, but nobody else would. Do we want 40-year-old Justin Turner? He was decent last year.
Can he still play third base? Like,
I don't think so.
He'd probably have to move to first.
He's listed as a DH, but you know what Justin Turner still did last year? Got on base. But still, does Justin Turner really solve?
No, not move the needle.
No. Do we want JD Martinez as a DH? He kind of blew last year relative to what he's been, but he's an aging player as well. And as far as Nolan Arenado goes, Nolan Arenado has a no-trade clause. In a perfect world, the Tigers would absolutely have the assets to get a Nolan Arenado. And the Cardinals, based on all reports, are dying to trade him because Nolan Arenado, when they got him, I think they were expecting more from Arenado than what they've got. And don't get me wrong, Nolan Arenado is not bad.
Still damn good.
He's still very good. And his first few years with St. Louis were very good. But last season, only 16 home runs, career low in slugging percentage, lowest OPS since his rookie year. His defense, his defense is not quite what it was, based mainly on age. He's still damn good, but in his prime, he was maybe one of the best defensive third basemen ever. It's just that he has a no-trade clause. The Cardinals wanted to trade Nolan Arenado to the Astros, but Nolan Arenado put the axe to it. So that, to me, is a bit of a pipe dream. And I get it that Maz brought it up, and he's excited about that possibility, but I don't think Nolan Arenado is coming here.
Yeah, it might be a tough sell, but I think the bigger thing here is while you're not desolate at third base, you do have something there. Matt Vierling, we all love him. I think most Tiger fans would agree that they like Matt Vierling. He's not a starting third baseman, especially defensively in this league. You look at Jace Young, he's a young player. He still has a lot of runway in front of him. He's not a starting third baseman, just in terms of what is actually out there, and on other teams as far as third base goes. So I just think you have a hole there. That's all. It's not a glaring hole, but it's a hole nonetheless.
I don't think it's a hole.
Man, we got to break this down.
I think Bregman would have been a better option than Vierling and Young, especially defensively. Honestly, if there's any real knock on Jace Young and Matt Vierling, is that Matt Vierling, he's a better defender as an outfielder, and Jace Young still doesn't play the third base position very well. But
Sam,
I think
that's what we need, though, infield defense. I know defense ain't super important to you. You've been on record saying that, but I would much rather the Tigers not give up 6, 7, 8 runs a game. That's all.
They're not 6, 7, 8 runs a game. They've got the damn near one of the best pitching. Do you think that their defense is going to give up 3, 4 unrun runs a game?
Was there not a point where they were giving up a lot of runs and not putting up enough?
They were, but you're talking about the defense being given up 3 to 4 unearned runs a game. Come on, KG. Come on. It's
That's
not that bad. They're not kicking the ball around 40 times a year.
What about Chris Fetter?
Hey.
The goal, Chris Fetter. I have no gripes with pitching. I don't, but
they're gonna give up
there will be games where defense is needed.
KG said he has beef with Chris Fetter.
No, but infield defense was a lack on this team.
I understand, and I'm the hitting over defense guy 100 times out of 100. Even I acknowledge that third base Vierling and Young isn't the best, but I think if Matt Vierling can give you the same OPS as he did last year, he's given you over 700 2 years in a row. If Jace Young can continue, because one thing he did do well, he didn't hit for no power, but he did get on base at a 362 clip as his on base percentage, and he showed that he can do that in the minors as well. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but obviously you'd rather have Bregman, and obviously if Arenado didn't have a no trade clause, it would certainly be something that's intriguing. But one thing we've also seen from Nolan Arenado and Alex Bregman was a little bit of a dip in numbers last year, and they're both above 30, with Arenado being 33.
Fair. That's fair.
And I see you gonna chat Crazy Clown. He says, I got Sky Harris's back on this. He was very aggressive, and he tried his best. I wanna get to the break, just so we can get back quickly. And have you at least put the off season to this point in perspective? And I wonder how much, at least to this point, would people feel like? How would they feel about this off season as a whole if the Tigers did do something like locked up a Tarek Scoop? I know that they have options where they don't necessarily have to do that off season, but I know that in droves, people are like, just waive Javi and just give us Scuba at this point in time, and let's just rock, man. So let's say what up to some friends, and I gotta say hello to Dr. Pierce. So attention sports fans, don't miss out on Expert Sports Injury Insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday on Big D Energy, every Thursday on Ermanni Networks, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. So you guys gotta trust the guy that the legend D-Mac trusts. Why? Because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
What up, though, people, man? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you all for choosing to kick off today with the WUW Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button to support, man. Just go ahead and satisfy it real quick. Treat it right, treat it nice. Hit that like button, man. Y'all already know. KG, ready to put it down real quick?
Hey, I saw him messing up again, but that's all right. They can't mess up my rhythm and my flow.
Chopped and screwed.
Yeah, right. Take it back to 05 on them, but while you sitting there watching the WUW Crew, just go ahead and hit that like button, man. We really appreciate it.
Hey, JV Smooth, man, you pulled up with the chop the screw version. Wizzy D313 says Javi got LASIK, and that's all he said.
I don't even know if that'll help him.
Yo, when I started wearing glasses in the batter's box, I got a lot better. So maybe it can help.
You know what? Then I will hold my last, because if Javi Baez steps onto that field and surprises us like some of our teams are right now.
Come on, dog.
Hey, that's the nuclear option right there for the Detroit Tigers.
I hated wearing my glasses. And then my dad finally just forced me in the cages one time to put them on, and I hit a lot better. So it could help. It can help.
Hey. Listen, Kool-Aid, don't put your life on it. Yeah, please don't put your life on it. Don't put the house on it.
I ain't gonna do it. No Javi love over here like that, man. If he does well, then he can earn that, man. But shout out to our brother Matthew Broder in the chat as well. We see you, bro. Yep. But Flannel Sam, these Tigers, they haven't had a offseason where they struck out necessarily. Obviously, with the Alex Bregman chase, they came away empty-handed. They did make an attempt, and it's more encouraging because to me it signals that maybe they do see what the possibilities of this team can be, especially with some of the other parts and pieces they have added over the offseason.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm one who is a little bit higher on the offseason than some. And one of the reasons why is obviously with I'm more okay with what they've done, but with Alex Bregman, one more thing that I wanted to add on that is when it comes to a $40 million AAV, I know that Bregman's is shorter term and he's got opt-outs. Do you know who else has a $40 million AAV? Aaron Judge.
Crazy.
Little bit different. I'll just say that on principle, I think I almost want to spontaneously combust on this desk at the fact that Alex Bregman has the same AAV as Aaron Judge. And the only two players that have a higher AAV are Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto. One of those things is not like the other three. I will just say that even though Alex Bregman is a damn good ball player and I would want him on this team, I'm not saying that I wouldn't. And also with the whole, I wanted to respond to something that Chuck Brewer said, which is actually a pretty good point. Sam, good defenders turn hits into outs. It's not always errors. That's fair. I just got a little triggered by the 7-8 runs per game. I'll admit that.
And you're right. And I'm lashing out as a fan. I can admit that. Okay?
I'll admit that.
But and it's funny he took that deal, and he's going to play second base over there with Boston. He's not even going to play his natural position from what I've heard. So that's kind of crazy. But it is what it is. Get your bag. I'm not mad at it. But can we at least be real about the fact that if they did not sign Jack Flaherty, this offseason was destined for failure?
But they did. They did. And that's,
they did.
And that really was what put it over the top for me as a...
Because Alex Cobb already a month off the show.
100%.
What are we talking? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that did hurt.
You're right. If there was no Flaherty and we would have been getting reports about, which we already got about Alex Cobb being hurt, even I, who's more Moneyball than most, would have been like, what are we doing? But the Flaherty deal, that's a good one. And the fact that, in hindsight, we were able to get Trey Sweeney, who helped the Tigers make the playoffs, and get Tyron Lorenzo, who is now a top 100 prospect, for Jack Flaherty, and then get him back, that's a Scott Harris masterclass. You can't deny that.
That is a masterclass.
I think that Tommy Kahnle was an absolutely huge move for the bullpen because I think he accounts for... We might not get the same from a Sean Gunther or a Hannafy as last year. Maybe those were flashes in the pan. Maybe Bo Brisky is going to be more what he's been throughout his entire career, which wasn't what he was as apex next year. I think Tommy Kahnle helps you account for that, for getting a proven guy who has a lethal changeup, who was excellent the last 2 years for the Yankees, both in the regular season and the playoffs. I think that's a great move. Gleyber Torres does fill a need.
Yeah.
The Tigers do need a right-handed hitter who kills lefties who you could maybe put in the 2 spot. And I think Gleyber Torres is that guy. And we got him for a 1-year deal.
And you're not relying on Torque now because you have him.
Yes, absolutely. You got Keith at first. You got Torres at second. You got Trey Sweeney, which I don't know about that at short. Trey Sweeney, Javi Baez at short, which doesn't sound great. But anywho, but Jack Flaherty might actually be the most valuable piece in this offseason because I think, Cobb or not, the Tigers have horses like a Ty Madden, like a Brant Herter, like a Sawyer Gibson Long, younger guys who were hyped prospects that for whatever reason weren't in the starting rotation last year. But with Brant Herter and Madden were like long relievers. Sawyer Gibson Long was coming back from Tommy John. But they all could be in that mix as well. And if you have a top end with Tarek Skubal, with Jack Flaherty, with Reese Olson, you don't know what you're going to get from Casey Mize. Obviously, Alex Cobb, not a great start. But Jack Flaherty, man, if he can give you what he did last year with Chris Fetter, give you an ERA under 3 and a whip under 1, they're winning the division. If Jack Flaherty gives you 28 to 30 starts with an ERA under 3 and a whip under 1, the Tigers are winning the Central. I have no doubt about that.
And think about how good they were down the stretch without Jack Flaherty because of the trade deadline, and now you're able to add him. That's where I'm like, you know what? Really where I'm banking is that some of these guys are going to take some steps forward in terms of the young guys. And, there's still some Torque believers out there.
Which is crazy.
But there's some people believe that less pressure for him allows him to play more just stress-free baseball. And maybe he's able to be something a little bit more serviceable in the rotation. But I do believe that what the young players do to improve, to take that step forward, and with the pitching staff now being a lot more stable. And I'm hoping that Reese Olson, because offense from this batting order is going to be, I saw Broder put it in there as well, the infield defense, Broder said, is going to be some work.
Yeah.
But he said as long as we can get some offense out of those bats, you can make up for the difference, especially when you can support good quality pitching from a Reese Olson. I felt terrible for him last year.
Yeah, oh, well, of course, at the beginning of the year, he was the most hard luck pitcher in the damn game. It was unfortunate. And Broder, you're right. The infield defense isn't going to be great. But I will say this. I know for a fact that you believe in Colt Keith as a hitter. Broder's a bit of a Colt Keith bro, and that's okay. Colt Keith earned it to some degree, but Broder is definitely a Colt Keith bro. So I know you have no questions about him. Maybe you do about Young, Vierling, Torres, Sweeney, Baez. I get that, but hey, if Colt Keith becomes who everybody thinks he is, there should be no problem with him at first base.
Not at all, man. And you know what? Any other words on the Tigers before we move into our NBA Top 5 MVP candidate?
Yes, I teased it yesterday because we were talking about Cade.
You're ecstatic about this.
I am ecstatic about this because let's just say I did some perusing around the NBA landscape and I was like, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up next.
Where
does Cade fit in? Is he an MVP candidate? We got to, we could go any way with this.
Interesting.
Oh, I am as intrigued as can possibly be. But first, jars.
Yep, Jars Cannabis. Attention all skiers and snowboarders. Get ready to send it on a 14-foot drop-in with 3 custom features at the brand new Jars Utica location parking lot on Saturday, February 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m. It is a jam-style competition judged by 3 guest pros. You can win $8,000 in cash that are up for grabs, so I hope you're ready. Head over to jarscannabis.com/JarsRailJam to sign up. It's open to skiers and snowboarders. You must be 21 or older to participate, and there are only 50 participants, so lock in your spot today. D-Mac and Stick will be out there doing a special broadcast for you as well, 2 to 4 p.m. This event is free to attend food out there for you guys, food trucks with any jars purchase, as well to live DJs, giveaways, drop in, cash out, and as always, get railed.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's the Les Stanford sign and drive deal. Get a 2024 Envision for only $239 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $249 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for only $789 per month. $0 security deposit, $0 duet signing, $0 first payment, $0 acquisition fee. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory at the sign and drive sale. Les Stanford Buick GMC, LesStanford.com.
What up, though? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Thank you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. Let's run up those likes, hey, especially for All-Star Cade, but we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here on MVP. Let's get that like poll in the chat as well, JB Smooth, as we get into this segment. I know that Flannel has been really, really ecstatic and excited about this, especially as we've seen some of the things that a certain player has been doing this year that's been leading directly to unexpected success. So, you know what? We're going to have Flannel Sam kick off this segment here with his list first. Whip it out, brother. Yo, top 5 MVP candidates to this point.
For the NBA. Yes, JB, put it on up. Because there's a certain person that is on it. I will just say that. At number 1, I've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which I think this one is pretty obvious at this point. The Thunder have the best record in the NBA. They are 8.5 games clear of Memphis. Shai's leading the NBA in scoring, 53, 36, 90 splits, averaging 33 a game. While the Thunder have been playing almost the entire season without Chet Holmgren, who I think when healthy is their second best player. Chet has only played 12 games. What the Thunder are doing, what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing, you can't deny that. He's the obvious number 1 to me. At number 2, this would win MVPs in a lot of years. It's Nikola Jokic. He's one of the most efficient players who has ever played the game, has won multiple MVPs, as we know, and he's putting up numbers which are, in a lot of ways, better than he's put up before. Averaging a triple-double, giving you 30, 13, and 10 averages, while his shooting splits 58 from the floor, a ridiculous 45% from 3 for Nikola freaking Jokic, and an 82% from the free throw line. The Nuggets are closing in on that 2 seed in the West, are only a half a game back of the Memphis Grizzlies. This is what you really wanted, though. At number 3, Cade Parker Cunningham. Yes, I invoked the middle name. As we all know, we know the numbers. 25, 6, and 9, 46, 35, 85 shooting splits. 3rd in the entire bleeping NBA in assists. But with this one, this is more about what he has done to help propel the turnaround from 14 wins last year, the whole season, to 29 and 26 at the freaking All-Star break this year. Cade Cunningham has proved to be that force multiplier that has made others around him, like a Malik Beasley, like a Jalen Duren, like an Asar Thompson, better as the season goes on. And you also have to give credit to Cade for the amount of games that some of his other best players have missed. Asar missed the first 22, Ivy has missed the last 25, and the Pistons are, no matter who that they were missing, were treading water without Asar and have been winning big without Jaden Ivey. Number 4, I got Jason Tatum, which might seem a little controversial. I still think Jason Tatum's the better player, but he's putting up a typical Tatum stat line. He's one of the best players in the NBA. He led the Celtics to a championship last year. It's just, to me, the Boston Celtics are the best roster in the NBA, still the best team in the NBA, and the Celtics are the 2 seed far behind the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think if you wanted to give it to Tatum, he had to put up better numbers than he has in the past, and the Celtics would have to be the clear 1 seed. And at number 5, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Giannis, he's putting up huge numbers.
It's ridiculous.
31, 12, and 6 on 61% from the floor. However, the Bucks have kind of disappointed, and it's not Giannis's fault. Like Chris Middleton has declined. Now he's traded, but he missed a lot of games. You look at Dame's missed some games. Even Giannis himself, which is also a bit of a disqualifier. Giannis has missed 12. And at some point, you got to play. And I think he will play. I think he will end up finishing with like 60, 65 games. But the fact that the Bucks are only 1 game clear of the Pistons, I think you got to knock Giannis in terms of the MVP. Do I think he's still the best player in the East? Absolutely. But this is about most valuable player. So this is my list. Cade to me is number 3 and the number 1 candidate to me in the East.
Let's rock. And you know what? I got a lot of similarities with my list. One, the Flannel Sam. But I definitely, man, I respect the list that you got going on there.
Question, though, because I figured you would have Cade in there, but him in that number 3, I thought, I'm like, I didn't expect you to go that high on him in the MVP.
I mean, I get it, because Tatum and Giannis are still the kings of the East right now. It's just, to me, with Tatum, I think he's got the best roster around him, and the Celtics don't even have the 1 seed. And with Giannis, it's about him missing games, and it's about the Bucks being a bit disappointing. They're not in danger of the play-in because nobody really above the 6 seed is, but the Bucks, they need to improve that record, I think, for Giannis to be a viable MVP candidate. And Giannis has to get back on the floor because now, what does it require you? 66 games? He's in jeopardy of not getting that.
I would agree.
No, I like the list, man. I like the list. No love for any of the Knicks players?
See, if there was a just missed it, you'd have like a Jalen Brunson or an Anthony Edwards or...
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anybody obvious that I'm missing. Donovan Mitchell.
Carl Anthony I was waiting on your boy, Cat.
Hey, speaking of Cat.
You know what?
You know that's your boy, man.
Let's pull up that list. Let's pull up my list, man.
Your list? The one that you did not follow the assignment on properly.
No, but I like how he framed it. It's okay.
Hey, look, man. I wanted to be able to break it down this way for you guys, man. This is what I wanted to do for you guys because we had to break it down. There's conversation to be said, and Flannel, he definitely discussed a lot of it. What you see out of those first 3, and this is why I have Cade Cunningham number 3, is these are the guys that are doing it all. If you go and you look across the board as it relates to the stats with the Denver Nuggets, do you know that Nikola Jokic is leading them in basically everything? Points, rebounds, assists, steals, everything. When you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's leading them in points and assists and steals, and these guys are pulling a weight for their teams greater than I believe any of these other players in the league are doing. Cade Cunningham is doing the same, but you know what Cade Cunningham doesn't have that all these other players on this list are going to have? Cade Cunningham doesn't have any all-star help on this squad right now.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Period. So all of the success that we see him having, and he's just a game behind Giannis and the Bucks. Mind you, Giannis and Dame are both all-stars.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So the aspect of the disappointment, that's why I put Cade Cunningham up there at number 3. And this also is a little bit of futures. I am expecting that with the trajectory that the Pistons are on, we see them get into that 5th seed. We see them make a charge for the 4th, even if they fall just short. That would be enough for me to have Cade Cunningham in that top 5 MVP conversation. But just the way that I value things, I have these top 3 kind of that way. And then the next 2, Giannis and Jalen Brunson, I had to pay some homage to the fact that their situations around them changed a lot in terms of what they've been used to. Hey, we're enjoying the fruits of Mr. Malik Beasley right now. So certain things have changed, but he's still stayed consistent. He's still one of the big reasons why he and Jalen Brunson, why their teams are winning. And I know that he got some help down there in New York with Cat, but those guys, no matter kind of what you put around them over the last few years, they've continued to be obviously the straw that stirs the drink. They are the alphas. And that's why I had Jalen Brunson over Karl Anthony Towns. I know what Karl is doing to put up the stats, but that's never been a reason why, in my opinion, why his teams have taken the next leap. The teams when he's had success is when they've had other dogs on the team and when the defense around him has been just that much better. And that's just on me. With Jason Tatum, I had to pay some homage, and that's kind of my next 2 out. So I got my top 5 and then my next 2 just so people can see it. That's the West Mantooth tier. That's the I hate these players, but you got to kind of, darn it, I respect you, from the Anchorman Classic. But that is my top 5 plus my next 2 out.
I don't hate it. I like seeing some love for Karl Anthony Towns. You gave more love to Karl Anthony Towns than I would have.
I don't like Karl Anthony Towns.
I know, and I actually do. I'm the only one probably in the state of Michigan that likes Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm glad he's getting some love. He's playing well. He's
Played the best ball of his life in New York.
It's like when you look at the East as a whole is where some of the names, narrative-wise, you just got to penalize them this year, especially with the rise that the Pistons are having. How do you look at a Cade Cunningham and as the only all-star on his team and one of 2 players in the entire NBA averaging 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds? It's just him and Nikola Jokic. One of only 8 players all time to have the stat line that he has right now. All time. There's only been 21 or 22 other instances all time. All these other guys have been all-star. All these other guys have been all-NBA. All those other guys get MVP conversation. So if that's what the stats say, if that's what the facts say, if that's what the history say, if that's what the narrative says, well, Cade Cunningham is passing this thing with flying colors, and you should put some respect on this guy's name. Nobody really had them at this type of a pace. And he has no other all-star help. He's dealing with inconsistencies. You talked about the injuries and such to Jaden Ivey. The inconsistencies with the lineup. Asar Thompson didn't even play the first 20 games of the season. Those things, but Cade Cunningham has been that star the entire year. We saw after the first week of the season, he different this year. Yeah. And I got to give him his props, man.
Kool-Aid, I loved how you break this down, but this was a top 5 list and you gave us 7 names.
Yes, sir. It's a top 5 and
I
then
love how you broke it down.
Hey.
And the Jalen Brunson is a little bit of a point of contention for me, but just because I think Karl Anthony Towns is the real reason for the Knicks' success. Not taking anything away from him.
I believe you take Brunson off that team and just put like a B player on there.
I don't know.
I don't think Karl Anthony is going to have the success that I've seen Brunson have with some B players around him.
They ain't really had that success until Cat got there, though. I mean, they were good. Don't get me wrong. But now they are like championship good with him being on the team. Now, I do need to see it in the playoffs, but we'll go over more of that with my list. You can go ahead and throw my list up, JB.
Hell yeah.
And this cracked out list is crazy, bro. But anyway, my boy JB over here making only the best graphics. So shout out to JB. We really appreciate you.
Smooth.
But here is my top 5 MVP list. And listen, y'all, I do understand there is no Cade. I have him at 6. 5 was really hard for me because there was a lot of deserving people in that spot. I got Cade just outside of that, but this, like Stephen A's list, the list is fluid. It can change. It can change. But at number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and I think that's the most obvious choice right now. The man is averaging 32 points a game on 52% from field goal range, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Number 1 team in the West. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory what SGA is doing right now. At 2, Nikola Jokic, and just because he's just a constant force, man. The numbers he puts up year in and year out, you're looking at almost 30 points a game, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. The man is averaging a triple-double on 57% from the field. That's pretty self-explanatory right there as well. And at number 3, I have Karl Anthony Towns. And like I said, I think that Cat has done a lot for the Knicks this year. He's been the go-to guy in most situations. I do understand he hasn't played all the games, and Jalen Brunson is there. He does a great job. But I think just in terms of this year, Cat is the player that really stirs the drink for them, and the numbers back him up. I mean, 24, almost 25 a game, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 53%. We all know he shoots a decent percentage from 3 as well. So at number 4, Jason Tatum. And this is where it kind of started to get hard because I really wanted to put Cade in this mix, but I think in terms of the MVP, they really value team success just historically. So with the Celtics being number 1 in the East with Jason Tatum, and also with a lot of people on this list, they lead their team in a lot of the major categories as well. So I took that into account. Jason Tatum is leading the Celtics in damn near all the major categories. They're number 1 in the East, and he is the main player behind that. So although they do have a great team. And at number 5, Giannis Antetokounmpo, because I do understand the team's success is not there, but his numbers are just ridiculous, too ridiculous to ignore. Now he hasn't played all the games. I do acknowledge that. But
they would tell, okay, all those stats, you're not affecting winning.
No, and Cade is affecting winning, which is why this 5 spot was a little bit hard because I had him, I had Giannis, and I had Donovan Mitchell, who I think deserves some praise for the MVP. I had him in the mix. Now, Donovan Mitchell, his numbers don't compare to Cade's and Giannis's, but you got to look at the team success, and he has been the main driver behind that. I do understand they have a team. I understand
He got
Evan
two
Mobley.
7-footers in that
but
front
I
court,
get
bruh.
that. But Evan Mobley, only 19 points a game. I do
3 All-Stars on that cast team.
I'm not denying that at all. I'm not denying that at all. But like I said, Giannis, just in terms of numbers and where their team sits right now, I think you got to put him in the conversation just because of the numbers. I got Cade at 6, right past Giannis. And he can honestly surpass Giannis. He could.
Yeah.
And 6.
You know what? I mean, I respect everybody's. I respect it. I respect the love for Karl-Anthony Towns. So I just,
if the Pistons were higher than 6 right now, I would put Cade in the top 5.
I gotta respect it. And that's part of me was saying that my list is part of futures where I think they're going to land. Where I believe they're going to be the 5th seed. They're going to make a strong case for the 4th. But I do believe that they're a team that their ceiling is 6. But I believe go out there and snatch that 5th seed.
No, absolutely.
Especially with what we're seeing right now. Like when I do look at Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, he was putting up stats like this in the beginning, and then when you started adding dogs to a squad like Jimmy Butler, and then you get AE, and then you add even a Gobert, who many people didn't really expect much of, but that's when I saw him go to the next level, and that's where I probably will always see him like that until he just goes out there and proves that he is that dog. And with Giannis, I get you, man. Jason Tatum, though, man, you talk about the team around him is what I don't.
Get it.
Sometimes that's good. At least in my eyes, that hurts. But you're
But when
right.
you the number 1 team on the East and you are the main star player, you got to give it to him. He putting up the numbers.
But here's the thing, KG, and this is where I strongly disagree with you on one of your Jason Tatum points. They're the 2 seed.
Yeah.
They're not the 1 seed. They are the 2 seed. They should be the 1 seed. And if they were the 1 seed, I probably would put Jason Tatum over Cade Cunningham. It's the fact that Boston came in as the favorite to repeat.
Facts.
And this is about the MVP. Jason Tatum is phenomenal. I think he shut a lot of people up last year. Even you could argue about his finals performance, whatever. He shut a lot of people up. But as terms of MVP of this year, I've got Cade over Tatum just because of what he has to overcome, what he has around him, and what they've done relative to expectations. But I'm not mad at Tatum over Cade. I just would put Cade somewhere on this list. I would take Karl-Anthony Towns out. I'm the cat guy.
And I think that's fair. I think that's definitely fair. Cade really has an arguable case against Jason Tatum, like a very arguable case.
How did you put Karl-Anthony Towns?
He was so non-existent.
I've
in that
argued
last
with
game.
you about Karl-Anthony Towns.
I understand, but just what he's done to this point this year, you got to give him some credit, bro.
I gave him credit. He was in my West man tooth tier.
Yeah.
Look,
you had Brunson above him, though.
Goodness, I respect you.
But you had Brunson above him, and I think if you talking New York Knicks, I get that. But if we talking Knicks and the success in this year, Cat is a big contributor to that.
So is Brunson, and if you take Brunson's dog away from this team, I believe you see Cat of Minnesota days before you started loading that team up with other dogs like Jimmy Butler and AE.
The Knicks didn't look as formidable without Cat either.
Drummond smacked Karl-Anthony Towns in their first 8 games in their career, and they're in 2 separate conferences, so that spans 4 seasons, bro.
I understand.
And they were trash with Karl-Anthony Towns as their guy. That's
Like
all
I
I'm
said,
saying. Like, until he got dogs on there.
These are fair arguments. That's just how I got it right now.
I feel you.
These are fair arguments. I'm not gonna sit up here and argue to you to death. You're not wrong. But
who would you pick in
I'm
a
not
playoff
putting
series?
Jalen Brunson
Who
over
would you
Cat
pick in a
terms of
playoff
Knicks.
series? Who would you pick in a playoff series?
Of course, I would pick the
or Knicks?
Pistons. Of course,
Okay.
I would pick the Pistons.
That's my case.
But Cat would probably ball out in that series. I just
But
think
he
we
always
would win.
balls out. It
I just think we would win.
He's been the master over the start of his career before they loaded him with help of being that guy that cannot get it done without all-star help around him.
I
Cade has proven
understand
he
that,
can be
but
that
this
guy.
is an individual award, and if we look at the stat, he got all the numbers.
Cade got all the
Points,
numbers and more.
rebounds, his 3-point percentage as a big man. I mean,
He's
like
always
I said,
been a merchant of that, man. It hasn't led
We've
to the
seen
wins
what the
unless he
Knicks
got a
have
dog.
looked like without Cat, and it hasn't been all that great either. I do understand the Jalen Brunson point. I'm not putting Brunson over Cat if we talking Knicks.
I respect it.
I'd put Brunson over Cat, and I'm the Cat guy. Karl-Anthony Towns. And this is true of a lot of big men. So this isn't even a discredit to him.
Yeah.
He needs to be fed. If he doesn't have somebody who can feed him the ball and can run the offense, he's gonna be empty stat guy. But that's the thing. That's such his life as a big man in a lot of ways. Because it was the same way for the most part with a guy like Anthony Davis, even though they had a bit of a run when Drew Holiday got there. But you need somebody to feed you. And Jalen Brunson, he's been top 3-point guard in the East this year. I mean, no question. Him, Donovan Mitchell, and Cade.
Yeah, and you know what? I see Broder too, because these are two players, man, that I sat back there and I was looking like, goodness, I really want to give them some props. John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. And Broder was asking how far out of our top 5 do we have a guy like a John Morant?
Far. You can't even see John Morant.
No,
with all due
Jaren
respect.
Jackson is really the one carrying that team this year, just in terms of this year.
John Morant's missed over 20 games and is putting up pedestrian numbers compared to what you expect from him. He's still a damn good player, but both of those things are true.
I was gonna say I have Jaren Jackson, maybe
I
within
would
my
put him
overall
above
top 10,
John.
maybe at even like a 9 or a 10.
JJ at top 10.
I've wanted Jaren Jackson in a Piston uniform for years. That's been my number one Piston. Every year on Woodward Pistons, I make that claim at the start of off season. That's I don't care how you have to do it. Like, I know that we joke around sometimes with like the Devin Booker stuff, and I'm being very serious with that too. Come home, Devin Booker. But why can't Jaren Jackson Jr. come home? Just come to Michigan, brother.
Bring him home, man.
Come on. Just come on, man. But where do you guys see them right now? Because that's kind of my case with John Morant as well. It's the games that he missed to start the season, and they more than traded water because Jaren Jackson Jr. was a freak.
No, Jaren Jackson Jr. is phenomenal. He would be higher up on the MVP list than a John Morant. I just think with Ja, as I said, he's missed too many games, and when you look at MVP, and this is my case against Donovan Mitchell as well, even though Donovan Mitchell playing within that team, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every single MVP, I think, since maybe 2015 Steph has put up monster numbers, whether it's Steph, whether it's Nikola Jokic, whether it's James Harden, have put up numbers that have popped off the screen. And Donovan Mitchell doesn't have that. Are there a lot of players in the NBA who are more valuable than Donovan Mitchell in a vacuum? No, but this is the most valuable player, and things like that matter.
JB, I see what you did with the little triple threat on number 3. I like that. That's a nice touch. But
messed up number 3.
Like I said, the list is fluid. 4 and 5 were really difficult for me because I was really trying to put Cade in there, but just because of where the Pistons are at this moment, I just can't put them in the top 5 just yet.
Do I expect the NBA ballots to look like this at the end of the season? 100%.
And I was just trying to go off what I thought was realistic.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah. I expect it.
Y'all
to be
know
like
I want to. Y'all know I'm hometown hero, bro.
I
want to put Cade in there.
Skydog 722 said Kool-Aid is pissed with KG for leaving his boy.
Skydog's a clown. Skydog's a clown. Skydog's an Ivy, bro. Skydog's a bitch. Skydog wants Cade Cunningham traded to this day. Skydog wants Cade Cunningham traded right now.
Damn.
Because he's a dumbass.
Damn, I ain't know my listener would listen to this type of reaction. And listen, Skydog, I ain't gonna go that deep, but
I will go that deep.
I have seen the rest of y'all though talk about I'm a Cade hater. Let's not do that though. Y'all gonna do that to me? Y'all gonna do that to me? Yeah, come on, dog. Me?
Don't let him catch you lacking, yo. Look, I was just about to follow up that last one with this from G. Clark. Wait until Jaden Ivey 23 comes back, man. I was just about to read that before he started saying, Ivy, bro. Goodness gracious.
And I cannot stress this enough. I like Jaden Ivey. I disagree with Easy that this team is better without him. It's if you're a Pistons fan right now and you are diminishing Cade to prop up Ivey, I think that's clinical insanity. You can prop them up both, but you certainly can't prop up Ivey to diminish Cade.
I'm looking forward to them both. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, Tim Hardaway is in there right now. Do you know how much, and I love what he's doing. I'm not taking away anything from Tim Hardaway. But Jaden Ivey was putting up some efficient stats. Yes. He was scoring the ball well. He was very clutch down the end of games. And he was a perfect compliment to Cade because he wants Cade to be that guy. Even though Jaden Ivey was drafted top 5, Jaden Ivey, people were wondering, could he go 4? Could he go 3? Jaden Ivey was a guy that people were wondering about, could he lead a team? And for him to be able to come here and say, you know what? We know what Cade is. I'm here to just effectively help and do whatever this team wants me to do. It's just like, man, I want to see them both out there. Yeah. I look at it as like an extended backcourt of Cade, Ivy, and Asar. Yes. That is ignorant behavior that we're talking about. Yeah. That's where, and then think about it, because if that works, all you're looking for is your 4 of the future. They got cap space and capital and draft capital in the future to be able to focus in on this one particular spot. Because Tim Hardaway going to the bench with a Malik Beasley, with the Dennis Schroeder, with Isaiah Stewart and Paul Reed and Sasser and Simone, you got a pretty nice squad at that point in time.
Well, Not you, Simone. I'm about done. But anywho,
So
He can play a little more gritty. Gotta get the offense going though.
But when you really, that was the thing. When you really break down the bench, it's like, it's no longer I'm Malik Beasley and this is the bench. The bench is actually going to be pretty formidable, I think, moving forward. But how about we take a break and then we come back with JB's list, because I'm really looking forward to this one.
I'm sure JB's list ain't going to piss nobody off.
Is Steph Curry number 1 or 1A or 1C? No, JB's the man, and we went back and forth over text, and he said, like, should I put Steph Curry 1 or 2? And I laughed, and I'm like, I'm having the same debate with LeBron, but obviously I'm not going to, and he's not going to either.
I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting here like, I just want to put Kate above everybody.
Right. We know that, though. That's a given.
I know we all agree what SGA's doing without Holmgren.
Yeah.
He's going to win it.
Especially after we saw how good Chet Holmgren actually is. It's like, Shea is that guy.
Top team in the West by a wide margin. Wide.
Shea is tough, man. I love when the Pistons and OKC match up, too.
Yeah.
I love when they play each other. I can't wait till the next one, man. Let's get to that next segment. What friends you want to say what up, though, to one JB Smooth?
I guess let's do Planet Fitness again.
Hey! No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, friendly, knowledgeable staff, and a totally judgment-free atmosphere. Did you know that all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training for no extra cost? Want all the perks? Upgrade to the PF Black Card and enjoy use of amenities such as a limited use of the Black Card Spa featuring hydro massage, massage chairs, and total body enhancement, and more, along with access to over 2,500 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or planetfitness.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Even though football season is done, they're still continuing on with the signature wings that you can see up on screen right there. 7 different flavors for you. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add some fresh wings to this order as well too. There's 7 different flavors, and always remember, if you don't have time to go in store, you can always check them out online at Sorokis.com.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up. Well, we're going ahead and smash that like button, chat family. And you know what? It's just up here on ESPN right now. They were talking about the Paul George signing it. I remember, shout out to our guy Anson. Love Anson. But I remember Paul George. He had a decent season last year.
He did.
And that was one of the guys. He was like, the Pistons, it's time to go get K. that co-star. Can you imagine if we had 4 years, $212 million of Paul George right now rather than the does that at least make it a little bit more palatable for you, Chase, that we got Tobias Harris at $26 million a year, brother? Goodness gracious. Bro, let's get back into this top 5 MVP candidates. Hey, NBA style.
Yes.
Our list already. Hey, a little bit of spice. Let's see what JB Smooths does when he has Steph Curry number 1.
Right.
I got you. I got you. All right. So at number 1, Steph Curry, everybody. Steph Curry. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, you guys. I do find it funny that like majority of our lists were kind of the same.
Yeah.
I gave Cade some love. I put him at number 5. Look, I'm telling you guys, motorcade is real. You can't change my mind about that. This man has been arguably a top 5 player this entire season, especially starting in 2025. He's healthy. He's showing his all-around skill that he's been working on this whole offseason, despite having Jaden Ivey down sideline. He's still running with this opportunity that he has right now. He knows the goal. He knows the objective of this season, and he's just running with it as it is. The only reason why I have him at 5 is just because of the other players ahead of him. And honestly, the numbers could go up. He could move into that 3-4 spot. I'm just waiting for, these guys to kind of slip and stumble a little bit, but I don't know if that will happen. At number 4, give me Giannis. This is another one where I'm just hoping that he stumbles a little bit, but it's still probably unlikely to happen.
That is not happening.
He's had some injuries this season, but when he's healthy, this man is nearly a 30-point double-double and can show some defense as well too. So he's at 4 for me. Number 3, Jason Tatum. You guys have already said it before. This man is a facilitator, and he's literally flexing his leadership this season as well too, with solid performances night in and night out.
Yep.
I mean, 3, I don't think that's a bad spot for him as well too. The Cavs are still on fire at number 1, but it all comes down to who has the hotter hand the second half this NBA season. So don't be surprised if Tatum kind of slides up in that number 2 spot. Number 2, I got the Joker. This man has kind of been running up impressive numbers with inferior opponents that he's going up against. If I'm being honest, I mean, he's averaging a 31-point triple-double in the month of February as it is.
Joker do that though. This is his reputation now.
This is just unreal. I don't see him slipping at all. So 2 is probably a lock for me. And everyone had this at number 1, SGA. I mean, the man has 3 50-point games. Come on. I can't not put him at number 1. It's a masterclass season for him so far. And over the past 10 games, KG, you already put it out there, 38.4 points, 6.4 assists, 4.3 rebounds, 1.7 steals. He's shooting at 58%. I mean, I don't expect this man to slow down at all either. So that's my top 5 list. SGA, Joker, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and showing some love with Cade at number 5.
That's a great list with no cat on there.
No, I wasn't about to put cat on there. Oh, hell no.
No Brunson either. No Brunson either. So
I was not about to put cat on there, but I will say this: I do have Donovan Mitchell outside at number 6. So,
all right,
just
no
saying.
Brunson yet again, but.
I know that's definitely a good list.
No,
that's definitely a good list.
Yeah,
this was almost my list. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Except one of you guys actually likes Cade. Kidding! Kidding!
Once again, you gonna do that to me of all people?
I'm kidding.
Y'all gonna do this to me?
You're right.
No, but JB, I understand what you're doing because it's hard because Cade he doesn't have the numbers that Giannis does certainly, or even Jason Tatum, and obviously we know what Giannis and Jason Tatum they've accomplished a heck of a lot more than Cade in this league. I just think. Cade with what he has to work with, what he's done relative to expectations. That's why I put him over those guys, although I'm not mad at you. I'm a little mad at Karl-Anthony Towns at 3. There's a difference between disagreeing slightly but not being mad and being a little bit mad.
Yeah, with me, I do firmly believe that Cade Cunningham deserves that talk. We understand that though he might not be putting up certain scoring numbers as like a Giannis, we do know that the stat line he does have, and to include as it relates to across the stat sheet, there's only 2 players in the entire league who are doing that. And Nikola Jokic is going to get credit in this MVP race for doing that and having success with his team. Whereas Cade literally does not have the same amount of help, and he is pulling this Pistons team into the same stratosphere as the Giannis-led Bucks, who also has Dame Lillard on there. That's where I'm hoping that when these conversations are had, people aren't just like, oh, yeah, sure, the Pistons are having mild success, whatever. Hey, because you know what people instantly going to say? They point to things like, well, look at Asar, look at Durant, look at Beasley. It's like, well, look at those guys. I'm grateful for the seasons that they are having.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. Especially when you can freeze frame any defense. Look at any clip. Look at what happens when Cade Cunningham hits the middle of that floor. Look at what happens when Cade Cunningham hits the middle of that floor.
Collapse.
It's an absolute collapse. The fact that he can score what he can score is just like, that's amazing. And he doesn't have one of those other guys where you have to go and make sure to double team. Do you have to stay honest and play Beasley man-to-man? Yes. But you're not stepping to the table like, oh, snap, Dame Lillard on one side, Giannis on the other side. We got a double team in the post with Karl Anthony Towns. We got to try and make sure we're hedging and double teaming out on the perimeter with a Jalen Brunson. That's not happening here. Cade is getting all of the attention on defense, and that's what helps him set up to be able to facilitate. You look at his seasons prior, and Cade was missing out on a lot of what you call potential assists that he's actually hitting on this season. His potential assists, or the missed assists effectively, that percentage has gone down because the people around him are actually just hitting the shots based off of what? A lot of the gravity and a lot of the space that his play is creating. And so now we can say that their success and his stats, his facilitation, his style of play, that is helping the Pistons not just win, but burst through expectations. And now they're in a place where when you look at the standings, they're in a top 6 spot. Their highest, if their season ended today, that's the highest position, playoff position they would have had in over a decade. That to me is what's crazy. And when you look at the stats, it's not like he's having marginal stats. I love Chauncey Billups. It's not even like he's having those types of stats. You're 16 points, 6 assists, but you know that he can go off at 30. No, he's actually going out there and putting up 25, 26 a game. And largely it feels like he put up the 16. Like he put up 29 points last night. Yeah. And it's not as if people are like, yo, man, Cade Cunningham showed out. Some people said, oh, man, he went 2 of 7 from beyond arc. Put up 29 points.
29.
Like, it just, the effect that he's having on these Detroit Pistons winning, I don't want to understate, the other players or JB Bickerstaff, but, as it relates to the players that get the credit for these types of rises, I think Cade Cunningham is that dude, and it's long overdue. They've robbed him of previous awards. And I think with this one, it's just about having him in the conversation. Yeah. I believe he's worth it.
No, absolutely. And I can almost guarantee that if the Pistons get to a 5 or dare I say 4 seed, you will have no choice but to put Cade in that top 5, maybe even top 3.
Yeah. Hey, I already got him in the top 3. But no, the consensus, he will be higher up on everybody's list if he gets it. If the Pistons finish the season with home court in the first round, I think that would really open a lot of people's eyes. And for the record, I think people's eyes have been opened on Cade. It's just it's the reason why I think I still get a little bit upset and a little bit victory lappy, even over guys like Stick, who has come around to his credit, is that most of us had the foresight. Most of us understood what we were watching and just realized he was hindered by his teammates and his teammates. Obviously, he had one injury that was a cleanup from something suffered in high school, and coaching. But there are people who literally would tell me that it was yes. People will legitimately would tell you that Cade's just not a winning player. If he's so good, why don't they win more?
Right.
Why did they win 14 games?
People was telling him to rise above all those things.
Rise above everything.
Look, man,
what?
Bro, before the people knew I got fired up for the show, like you guys have seen some of the conversations between me and Stick off air. And he knew how to push that button with Cade. And there's only so much you can say until the wins are there, and that's fair. That's why I'm glad that Cade was the one who stepped to the podium and said it's just not good enough.
Yeah.
We're bad, and we got to be real about that. And then this year, some of the things that I noticed out of these young players is this. I was like, all these guys look like they've been in the weight room, like all of them.
Yeah.
And the other people were being able to call it out as well. We posted pictures, and you see people like, yo, Jaden Ivey looks like he's ready to go to work. People were like, yo, Cade Cunningham looks like he's been putting in the work. And as soon as we saw him doing more back-to-the-basket stuff to start the season, as soon as we saw him finishing through contact, and he's still going to complain for the foul, but he doesn't necessarily need that to do what he's doing this year.
Yeah.
That's when you realize they've been putting in the work themselves. Even Ron Holland, we've talked about that too. So it's like, and I see you, Weezy D313. He said, was Cade the only one that suffered, or did Killer and Ivy suffer from playing with bums like Burks and Boyan and Joe Harris?
Come on, man.
I have been consistent with this. I've been saying, one of the people who I think this new spacing and having these guys, I said this in offseason, I said Jaden Ivey was going to be one of the people, maybe more so than Cade, who could benefit from this. Cade had an opportunity to go out there and still get his. He put up in the first season as a rookie numbers that only Michael Jordan did. It's amazing how every year he's only putting up stats of legends, and people are still slow to the conversation on Cade Cunningham. But no, these other players, they definitely suffer from the lack of having vets and people to show them how it's done and coaching to be the glue to pull it all together. They all suffered. And you saw this year how much better Jaden Ivey was to start the season based on the work he put in, JB Bickerstaff, but also having way better teammates and the young guys who they're actually able to take these steps forward now.
And Weezy, please stop pushing this Killian point. Dog, come on, bro. This us. This just me and you talking, bro. Why are you he's not in the NBA, bro. Why are we continuing to push this Killian agenda? I don't understand.
And for the record, when we were just talking about players that could be a secondary ball handler, I flirted with the idea of Killian maybe wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but like, Weezy is in a category that you don't want to be. You don't want to be a Killian, bro. If he was back in the NBA and he was given another shot and he was seeing some success, I could see you having a leg to stand on. He's still in the G League. Should he be in the G League? I don't know. They don't usually keep people in the G League that should be in the NBA. That's all I'll say.
Where is he at right now? Is he still in the Nets or is
Long
he
Island Nets? Him and Drew Timme are just been kind of going off together.
Drew Timme.
Because sometimes agents can have a role to play in that too. And I just wonder if, I don't know, man, you would want to be in the NBA. But I know that Killian and some of the stuff he's put out there content-wise, it's as if he's learning there. And that would make a lot of sense because he didn't really have a lot of that to do here. Dwayne Casey was a lame duck coach. Mm-hmm. You got to think about that. Like, they knew, like, he's not. And then you followed it up with Monty, who put so much usage and pressure like on Killian well beyond what anybody else expected.
Right.
And then you don't get a chance under JB. I would happen to believe that he would have a little bit more success with a JB Bickerstaff, the defensive-minded JB Bickerstaff, the facilitating one, because we're seeing players right now who we're waiting for them to get to those points to shoot the three-point ball. Yeah. But they're still having success in this system that JB Bickerstaff has set up.
Yep, and to be fair to Weezy, he also said I'm a Cade Slappy and an Ivy bro, and you have proven over your time in the chat that I agree. And he also said something yesterday.
He's a Cade Crusader.
He is. And he said something yesterday that caught my eye, and I didn't get a chance to read it because – you know, I came up with the whole Ivy bro thing, which I kind of wish I wouldn't have done now, but they keep popping up even though I like Ivy. He actually said yesterday that he likes LeBron and Kobe. So if that kind of takes you into the mind of Weezy, maybe he just appreciates game because not a lot of people like LeBron and Kobe.
Especially as a Lakers fan.
Even though you
Lakers
should.
Fans hate
but
LeBron.
I was meant to appreciate LeBron James.
That's the thing, though. We all should, but even me, I respect Kobe, but I've heard too many conversations about where he ranks that I don't agree with for me to just love him.
2006 is forever scarred into my head, okay? Boobie Gibson. LeBron James made Boobie Gibson, bro.
He did.
And they torched us.
Yeah.
And they ended us. I would never like LeBron James.
I understand.
And I would still say he's the #1 talented basketball player I've ever seen in my life. And thank you, Cade, for being born because you're leading me to believe that maybe one day that narrative can change just a little bit.
Cade, about 12 years too late, though. We could have used you in 2009. Like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, I feel you. LeBron, my man.
Cade, the new Rocky Stuckey?
Yeah, no, don't bring me back to them days. But imagine being a LeBron fan since he came into the league and having him destroy your favorite franchise. Like, it sucks, bro.
Was tough.
He ended us,
especially
dog.
after the gut punch of losing against San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah.
Oh.
He ended bro. He literally ruined the Pistons for the next decade and plus.
That's fair, but maybe Weezy can be a bit of a trailblazer, and maybe we can all learn to like LeBron and Kobe and just kind of recognize game. You know what? I might try to turn over a new leaf. It just kind of seems like something that is not allowed to happen because, you know, there is nothing more toxic in the entire world than GOAT debates.
You know,
nothing.
I respect it because even Ron Artest, he graced Detroit with his, with his presence. Yeah. JB Smooth and I were boots on the ground. Shout out to JB too. I said, bro, get in the content. He's like, nah, bro, I really just want you to get your shine. This was like 3 years ago when I was just credentialed, man. And I was wearing it proudly at the event. I probably shouldn't even been doing that. But I think about that to this day. Like, I had the Pistons credential on at the freaking golf event. But even he was like, that starting 5 of the 2004 Pistons, he was like, I've had a lot of time to think about this, but that whole 5, he believes, deserves Hall of Fame recognition.
Oh, hell yeah.
Some type of attention. I know how you feel about that, but this is from Ron Artest, and he believed that all of them should have made the All-Star game. He thinks to this day that Tayshaun Prince was snubbed of making that All-Star. So it's you know, if people can grow and they can change, and you know, hey LeBron, yay.
Yeah. Look at you. That's progress.
That's progress. Dog.
I know.
I was yelling. I was a teenager.
But when I
was like, Booby.
But when I say that's all he had trying to go against the all-time Spurs, I look crazy though. Like, what are we doing here?
All right. No GOAT debates today because we will just be screaming at each other at this point.
I do have this though. Girth Brooks 313.
Shut up.
He said I was watching a show this morning that's on one of the large networks. We'll leave them nameless. He said he was watching them this morning, but those people make me sick. I had to turn it off and go back to turn on that Woodward Sports.
Thank you. And I know what show you're referring to, and I've got respect for that other show, but always choose Wake Up Woodward.
Damn
always.
Right.
Hey, I appreciate that. Let's
Welcome
get to this
in
next segment.
And keep coming back.
Hey. You know what? We got to get to everybody's favorite segment. That is what's trending. Let's say, do we got any more friends to say what up though to?
Just Feldman, but we'll say what's up to them on the way back.
Let's rock.
Hey, Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations of the Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward, man. Hey, these breaks. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off today with the WUW Crew. Go ahead and hit that like button to support. Shout out to our brother Broder for being in the chats this morning as well. Man, we're going to have to figure out some time we can get him here to talk these Tigers too, man, because he's one of the best.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Super Nate from one Mr. Matthew Broder. I remember him talking about it. And those breakdowns, man, they were legendary. Shout out to our brother
That's
Matthew
why
Broder.
Somebody like him was there. I'm like, Super what?
Yeah.
And I love baseball. I'm more of a numbers guy than like a technicality guy, but Broder pitched at Michigan. So he knows things that we do not. And Super Nate was that was an all-timer.
That was an all-timer.
What?
JB, let's spark up Word to Jars. It's Rail Jam.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Jeremy Bryant.
Hey, what's wrong?
What's up, chat family? What's going on, fellas? I cannot stress this anymore. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Please go out there and get your lady something. Everyone in the chat family, do that. Make sure you do something special for her, whatever it is. Just don't be like this guy.
Smart man. He picked Mia Khalifa. That's funny. Mia Khalifa is not better than Tiana Trump, by the way, but. That's
$24.99. I hear your commentary over there. What were you saying as it relates to that
Mia
MVP
Khalifa
list?
is not even close to Tiana Trump, or maybe his wife. I don't know. She sounded cute.
No, those people are, but I would agree with you.
You said what?
I don't know who those people are, but I would agree with you.
I bet you don't.
I trust you.
I bet you don't know who
I
these
trust
people
you,
are.
KG.
I bet you don't. I bet your search history has never discovered who these women are.
Search histories.
Mia Khalifa can't take the you know what, so it is what it is. But that's why her career failed.
Yo, question, JB.
Is she related to Wiz?
Yeah, no relation.
Okay.
So, what it looked like was this guy was choosing between porn stars, made a box for like his wife's name, and still picked Mia Khalifa.
Still picked
That's
Mia Khalifa
hilarious.
for some
He still
reason.
considered her. I mean,
Like that's like.
She's in the running.
Do you want me to answer honestly or no? I'm talking shit.
She was still in the running, so you got to be fair with them. I mean, come on. Hey,
But still don't do that.
Like I said, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Do something special for your lady. You know what? Maybe even get her a new mattress. You know, from Temu.
Mattress.
This will not end well. Trust me.
That boy finna unfold. I hate that they send mattresses like this now. Damn, she is pinned down.
She is pinned down to this mattress. Like I said, stop ordering stuff off of Temu right now because it will not end well for you. Just trying to cut this mattress open. Which KG, I agree with you. I hate that mattresses come like this. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not the mattress's fault. She should have known better. That bitch was. Come on now, like
What?
You should have known not to kind of move out the way. But that's just me though.
Just sad. Just sad. Hey, you guys ever wondered how construction people get their lunch when they're on break?
How?
About to find out.
Oh shit!
It's airmail, everybody.
What the fuck?
Yo, it's freaky fast. It's in the name.
Right.
John's.
I mean, you wanted it fast. There you go.
I ain't trying to get knocked out by my sandwich though. Shout out to the delivery guy though, still doing his job and getting the delivery there.
Oh, that's right. Where the hell do you park?
You don't.
You don't.
Yeah, you just throw it to him.
That's hilarious.
I hope he tipped him well. That's all I
wonder
got
if
to
he
say.
put that in the Uber Eats notes. I am a highway worker.
Yeah,
you have to
right.
throw this at a very high speed.
And finally, I will end what's trending with this. There's no easy way to put this, but my man is just GTA wasted.
Oh!
What?
No! Ow! Boo! Bro, I'm sorry.
Just miss the
Kid's
rail
gone.
completely.
Like, at
Kid's
what point
gone.
are you just in panic mode? Like right here,
Why
he's
is
like,
that
"Oh
rail
crap!"
right there? It just doesn't make sense to me. Cavassier, why is that right there?
Well, I mean, it's so you don't fall off the back, but I just ride a skateboard.
That's Chase's solution.
That's hilarious.
just ride a skateboard.
Right,
It's
easier
easier.
for squares.
How do you? Oh my!
Yeah, scooters are for
You
kids.
pansy.
Just pain.
Like, I can't really skate,
Yeah.
but like if you ride a scooter, I kind of look at you like you're a little soft. You're like cat, bro. Like,
You a pansy. I'm talking to you.
Just pain.
That is hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
Yo.
I just
All them kids gone.
Oh, hope you already have them there, pal.
goodness.
Because you might not have any more.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's tough.
But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's get into some mailbag while we got some time. Kool-Aid, you okay?
Kool-Aid still in disbelief.
Get your mailbag questions in.
Get those mailbag questions in. It's time for the Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by Feldman. I'm so sorry for that, dude.
Man, Wheezy D313, future stepdad.
Yeah.
No. The dad that stepped up. Get it right.
Oh, man. Hey, QT said he's not celebrating Valentine's Day.
I mean, if you don't have a lady, you shouldn't. But hopefully you do. And if you don't, hopefully you got some prospects.
Weezy D, I don't get this. I gotta refer to 24/9. He said Mia Khalifa wasn't even that good at what she did.
Trying to tell y'all.
What's he talking about?
She wasn't. She's yeah.
She served her time well.
Yeah,
I'll say
that. But she had a little run. But I never really understood the hype behind her anyway. So
is this content that you guys can add to like Woodward ringside? You can cover it.
Well, I mean, this ain't necessarily in the fight category,
but
okay. Yeah, I don't think this. If you've seen her work, then I don't think there's much argument about what we're saying.
I think they do make those kind of tapes, though. You know.
You right. No, you're right, bro. You're right. I'm not a connoisseur of those type of tapes, but I do know what you're referring to. So,
hey, my God. Chuck Brewer, Feldman Mailbag.
No, she's not that good, man. There's a Hall of Fame list of those type of people, and she's not on it. So we'll just leave it at that.
A night in China.
Yeah. You'll talk about a night in China. You tell me.
I got me up here last like he clips the dog.
Rest in peace to the great China.
But still, that was wild.
Oh,
I think that's 3 shows in the last 2 weeks. Y'all dudes brought tears to my eyes.
Night in China.
Chuck Brewer, Mailbag. Better play the lob to Asar, back to Duran, or Cade Cunningham's changing hand dunk.
The switcheroo? Yeah, we didn't even talk about
but
that.
Asar,
that
dog,
shit was nasty.
The change hand was crazy, but he did remind me of that Asar. Like Asar got thrown the lob,
yeah,
and
he
threw a
threw it
perfect
back.
pass right back to Duran. I don't. Both of them were great, but Cade's play to me, like with Asar's play, was like, yeah, okay, I can see that. I expect it. With Cade's, it's like it's surprising me now more and more how much we're seeing this guy dunking on people, like on people, not just dunking, but going to the rack and then dunking on them. Dunking through plays, going to the rack, tough and finishing through it, even if it turns into a layup. And so it's like, you know, unbiased, you have to go with the Cade Cunningham play, but making sure that Asar in that Duran play gets his credit as well.
Oh, yeah. I'd probably go with the Cade one, but just horn both of them.
Right. Yeah. Cade is a silent, athletic player. Like, you might not think he athletic until he raises up on you, so. Shout out to him.
I think that's been one of the biggest benefits to him getting that leg surgery and now finally being healthy as well. It's just you see that bounce, man. Definitely. John F. What about you, JB Smooth?
Oh, it's definitely got to be the Cade hand switch, man. Like that shit was unreal.
That was crazy.
Like the man's a magician out here. I can't even explain it.
What about you, Cavassier?
Sorry, what was the question?
The which play was better? When Asar got thrown the alley-oop and in midair he throws it back to Duran for the dunk, or Cade Cunningham when he was going up with the right and then switched it to the left and dunked it.
I'm gonna go with the oop because it kind of reminds me of like those videos in the summertime when you're at the pool with your friends and you're like all just jumping in and tossing it around. It's like
I feel that.
Yeah, a little bit more difficult to like execute.
It kind of reminds me of NBA. That was a freaking live NBA Jam play. Yeah. You know how when they throw you the oop and then in there you can like pass it off and then somebody else makes it? Like they literally pulled that off in the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have Travis overlay that. Definitely NBA Jam. That's actually pretty clever play, man.
I like that.
I like
that idea.
Feldman Mailbag, John F. and Lord. Who got it worse, Jets picking up Aaron Rodgers or the Mavs trading for AD?
I hold out hope that Anthony Davis will be back for the playoffs, for the final stretch, and he will help. With Aaron Rodgers, we already know how it is. So right now, I will say Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers in the toilet. Y'all know that. But I hold out hope for the Mavs because I still don't think they got the shit end of the stick in terms of that deal. Of course, the Lakers, won the trade, but if AD can come back and help them in the playoffs, I think that'll go a long way.
And like what they say about a month, I don't think it requires surgery, but just once again, he came back too early, man. Just hold out until the All-Star break is over. You kind of gotten some time to heal, but he wanted to prove it to his new team, and he was balling.
That was the word, is that he was pushing so hard to, make an impression for the Mavs fans and all that. That's what ended up leading to him.
I mean, you saw the passion that he had when he was going off in that first game, and he was like, "Oh, I'm here." I actually was like, you know what? I'm kind of here for this. I wanted to tap in and at least follow the Mavs journey if AD was going to be that guy. Because he's a guy I've respected for a long time, and you have to, because he used to come into the Palace and have his way
but
with
AD
the Pistons.
Street clothes at the end of the day. So.
Here's the problem, and I think AD actually listens to this. Anthony Davis has the worst PR that I've ever seen from a great player.
Yeah.
And I understand that some of it is brought on himself because he does have, early on in his career, he just always had these nagging injuries where he'd miss like 15 games one year, 20 the next year, had some more serious ones as of late. But that man just, the way he gets talked about, you'd think that he's played 40% of the games in his career. And I think that's a little unfair.
What up, though, brother? I always think about like one of those big what ifs if Boogie never tore his Achilles.
Yes.
Like him and AD in the playoffs.
Boogie Cousins was literally going to be the best center in the league.
The projections from everybody about them, that was one of the teams I was looking at like, dag, that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
That was pretty tough.
No,
man.
and don't get me wrong, AD does have an injury problem, but I don't think it's as bad usually as people have let it on to be. And he did prove it in the playoffs one year.
Who's worse, him or Embiid?
Embiid. Are you kidding me? Embiid has like a degenerative knees, and that's my problem. The fact that it's even a conversation is insane to me.
And players, for whatever reason, seem to have a hard time playing more than like a couple seasons with him. Like until you start to see a lot of the cracks around the relationship effectively, and that's where I'm like, this process thing, that's one of my victory laps. As wrong as I was about Killian Hayes, I was super right that this process was going to just wind up as egg in the face of Philly. Like, use that to make a Philly cheesesteak at this point in time, because what you see going on with the Philadelphia 76ers, it compared to the Pistons, no matter what people want to say about Troy, you're talking about 3 to 4 years, and now look at this squad is in the playoffs, largely based off of tanking so hard, you got your dogs, and now those young players can bolster something moving forward. And it's like when you look at what Philly did, and they even bumped their gums by all the young players they got, I'm not even like, with the players, with the young players they've traded away, I'm sitting here now like, what did they even get out of all of that?
They didn't.
You would think they would have been stocked up with so many assets or something that you can look at as promising. And I'm just looking at the Philadelphia 76ers like, was the process worth it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't worth it. Ben Simmons got
they
weird.
mismanaged him.
Like, I don't know how else to explain it. I was a big Ben Simmons guy, and then just something happened to him down the stretch. He was really good. People forget. He was really – the only thing he didn't have was a jumper or a three-point shot. Other than that, he was really damn good. But Joel Embiid, I think the worst part about his arc is that obviously the injuries are number one, but even when he was available, he did not come to play in the playoffs. Look at his numbers. They all go down.
I knew once they couldn't make it work with J.J. Redick and Jimmy Butler, that was their best iteration. That was the best iteration of them, bro, and they could not make that work. So,
but you know what's interesting is that Cade Cunningham and these Pistons are now almost on the precipice of the time where you start to go and put those players around Cade and with this young squad. Like when they go and they make the upgrade over the types of free agents that they've gotten because teams know, well, they're one of the top squads. I believe that Cade Cunningham and co are going to fare much better with those free agent additions and acquisitions around them than we saw guys like Joel Embiid do with the Philadelphia 76ers.
And speaking of the Sixers process, I mean, WeezyD313 brings it up. They drafted Markelle Fultz. They also drafted Jaleel Okafor.
That's going to be a 30 for 30 one day. Just like the process, bro. Like
the process.
Imagine being a Sixers fan in the 20 teens thinking like, oh yeah, our future is ahead of us. Like, that is crazy, bro. Go ahead, Chase.
I say the Celtics, if I remember correctly, they had the number one pick in that draft. They traded out of it confidently saying, like, we think that the player that we were going to select with the first overall pick is still going to be there at number 3, being Jason Tatum. And they got assets from it to just absolutely dominate Philly moving forward, like, continuously up till now. So, like, just...
Boston did it right.
Yeah.
They did it the right way. And it's just like, I am so glad that we did not commit to a process. And even though it didn't get to winning as fast as we thought it could, like, imagine if they just had the right vets. Just instead of Bojan and Alec Burks. Or if Cade could have played with them. Remember, when Bojan actually looked good, Cade was out for the year. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? I for everything that we went through, because a lot of times as Pistons fans, we group in together the last almost 20 years. But really 15 years. And I think that that's what hurts more. But as it relates to them concentratedly saying, well, we're going to do a process. We're going to find our MVP caliber player. They got that done in a matter of 3 to 4 years, not 7 years. And then you're sitting here like, well, you're just going to be a mid-league playoff team, and then you're going to start to sell off all of those assets, and you're going to look around like, I thought I sold this. Where's the brand at, though? Where's the assets? Like, their future to me is terrible.
And they gave Embiid the Supermax. That was a huge mistake. That was a huge mistake. How did Markelle Fultz get to the league and just forget how to play basketball? That still like blows my mind. He just forgot how to shoot. He just forgot how to shoot.
It was the craziest thing. How many games did he ever play for this 76ers?
They kept talking about it was the mental, which was
like he'd be shooting a free throw, like
with the yips.
Yeah, right. It was the weirdest thing.
Speaking of Markelle Fultz, I'm pretty sure he signed with the Kings like during the show.
I saw that. I saw some reports of that, the rumors at least. So
he's had a bit of a second life where he's looked decent at times,
but never what he was supposed to be.
A number 1 overall pick, maybe the biggest bust ever.
Yeah.
Markelle Fultz is the biggest NBA bust of all time.
Nah, Anthony Bennett, but
You're right.
But
you said who?
Anthony Bennett.
Yep.
Oh,
you're absolutely right.
Canada's finest. Toronto's finest.
Right.
You win, I lose. You're 100% correct. Yeah. Anthony Bennett's the worst NBA player who ever lived.
Markelle Fultz is up there, though.
Oh,
we have to.
Number 1 overall pick busts.
Oh, I would love that.
That'd be so much fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Tuesday. Well, maybe Thursday.
Was LaRue Martin a number 1 overall pick, or was he 2?
I thought he was
like
2.
McAdoo. Oh yeah.
We'll do that for next Friday show. Then.
Oh,
we'll come up with another NBA top 5 list. Then.
Oh, man. Busts. I love talking about busts.
I know, right?
Shouldn't have said it like that. NBA draft busts.
Yeah, that's probably
NFL draft busts.
Clip that one, Davey. I love talking about busts.
And not just busts. Number 1 overall picks, because Anthony Bennett. He's not just the worst number 1 overall pick ever. He's the worst basketball player I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And they
how you get Kyrie and Anthony Bennett?
They tried so many different opportunities for him too, man. And it's just stop. like Michael Jordan's kids knew he ain't really hoopers.
Yeah, bro.
Stop, dog. Like
he made Kwame Brown look like a Hall of Famer.
He's also on that list somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Kwame Brown is on the list, but
it's horrible. He's terrible.
Yeah.
He got little hands.
Right.
Can't catch the ball. Can't dunk the ball.
Don't let Kwame hear that shit though. Kwame will snap back at you though.
Hey, he got
respect to him, bro.
He loves Detroit, man. Shout out to Kwame Brown.
Big shout out, man.
Hey, former Piston Kwame Brown.
Yeah.
Oh man. Another name I see. We should probably stop naming them because we're gonna give all of ours away.
Yeah,
but if you look at the last couple of comments, he'll be on the list too. I'm sure.
Greg Oden. I forgot about Greg Oden.
JB just goes.
Yeah.
He was a bust for a different reason because I actually like this town.
No, he was. Man.
I followed his career back at OSU, and I was like, man, this dude's about to be a monster, but nope.
Psych. Him and Brandon Roy are the biggest what ifs for me, man.
I swear, Brandon Roy for real. Like
the Trailblazers are
he
such
been
a
a top
cursed
3 player in the league, bro.
Traded us just to watch us win.
I know, and Brandon Roy and Greg Oden getting their careers just betrayed by injuries.
I like Brandon Roy.
Sean Livingston to a degree, because he had a resurgence.
He came
at
back
the second
and was
half,
serviceable. Was really good backup. But
what he started out as, oh my god, he started off crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, probably the biggest draft bust ever was just named, and he wasn't the number 1 overall pick, but there was a reason.
No,
Len Bias.
We're not. That's why we're number 1s.
That's
draft bust. I don't want to relive that anymore.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
We on a tight timeline. I hate to be that person.
Go. Oh, on the fast break. No, switch it. Hey, let's rock, man. It's been a show. Wake up, Woodward. We appreciate you all, chat family, for being here today. If you didn't get the opportunity to, go on ahead and smash that like button. But you know what, man? What a show. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder for being in the chat today, lending some Tigers conversation as well and some insight, and being involved as well in the NBA voting. I know he's a fan of John Morant. I know he likes what the Grizzlies are doing this year, so it was a good question by him.
He loves John Morant.
Yeah, he does.
If you think he should be in the MVP conversation,
I'm not going to be mad at it from his perspective.
All right. No, Broder,
top
you're the
5
man.
spot.
You're the man. Love you, Broder.
Hey, that dude Justin, we love you, man. Cavassier Chase GPT. What up, though?
Hey, what up, though? Thanks for tapping in, everybody. Make sure you stay tuned in to Big D Energy, Ermanni and Edwards, and heavyweights. I actually think today is when you get Sean Belizean and D-Mac. Yesterday was Stick and D-Mac, so stay tapped in. Hopefully everyone's staying warm, staying safe. We got a lot of snow here in Detroit. I imagine a lot of other places are covered with snow as well, so stay warm, stay safe, careful out there shoveling. A lot of cardiac incidents that happen when you're shoveling snow, so just something to monitor, keep track of, and hope you guys have a good one. Shout out my dad, shout out the guys at Seymour Ford. Look forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow for a fun Friday show.
Man, Yeah, that's a good on you too, man, with the shoveling the snow thing. I actually had a friend, like almost like a family friend, who they had an issue with their heart shoveling.
Take it easy.
They're still here with us, but it was scary. It was scary.
Something, just like one of those like weird statistics, just something you don't think about, but like bundle up and take it easy. Don't go too hard in the paint. So
hey, shout out to Spot and Chase in the sound booth, man. Y'all know we got the most elite booth in the game. Hey, Detroit's number one draft pick, that is KG, aka Black Hollywood, Rookie of the Year, MVP. What up, though?
Yes, sir.
We put him in MVP conversation. He don't put K to them.
Man, come on, dog. And listen, chat, I love y'all, but y'all motherfuckers really try to say I'm a K hater, bro. It's me. But it's all good, bro. I still love y'all, man. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to my team, man. Let's keep this shit rolling, man.
Hey, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD, but more appropriately on the Victory Show. And the Teddy Booth is JB Smooth. What up, though?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat for chilling with us, hanging with us. If you're planning on going out today, just be safe. Bundle up, drive slow. Like, the weather and the roads out there are not the best conditions. So just take care of yourself today. And as Chase said, if you're shoveling snow, just take it easy.
Hey, Woodward Sports, a vet of the squad, vet of the network, Flannel Sam, ball knower, Red Wings correspondent, all sports lover. What up, though?
Hey, don't call KG a Cade hater.
You bet not.
I'll have my guys back because
thank you.
I don't want to become who I hate. You couldn't even pick the Lions to win by one score towards the end of the year. It's like, you hate the Lions. You know what I mean? Just let people have their opinions.
Isn't this KG just getting a taste of what it's like to be on the other side and prove me wrong?
you mean a game that I always lose? I let you
Chase versus Prove Me Wrong is going to be a future Woodward Sports 30 for 30.
Right. A game that I literally let y'all win damn near every time.
You don't let us win.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
You realize I could just rig the game to make all my answers correct.
Yeah, like I said, it's like challenging a man with no legs to a race, man. No shit you're going to win.
Chase just want to challenge you,
I'm
man.
telling y'all, Chase first Prove Me Wrong. It's epic content.
It's Prove Me Wrong and Bar King.
Well, Chase, you don't have to participate. I'm just saying.
I like puppies. Prove me wrong. I like pizza. Prove me wrong. You win.
Yeah, you know.
Anywho, I think y'all got to record, so we should probably.
KD Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter, writer for the network.
Is this the last time we see you?
Have a day. For Monday and Tuesday, man.
Yeah.
No, Friday and Monday. Yeah, so I take off in the morning for San Fran. Instantly, I'm going to try and get over to get the credential because they have the media day for Asar Thompson and the Rising Stars. I'm going to try and get there and talk to them, get some content. And then it's a bunch of press conferences. It's a bunch of events going on. They're going to be honoring the Hall of Fame people. And then I will be back Monday after being able to be a part of the Saturday night events. And then the All-Star game on Sunday, which... Looking forward to it, man.
Congratulations, my guys. Yeah. Well deserved, man. Well deserved.
Thank you, brother.
Have fun out there, man.
Like I said, you guys, in terms of what we do here every single day, without Woodward Sports, without this dedication, the NBA is looking at us. The Pistons look at us for everything that all of us do here. And they're saying, we'll trust your outlet. We appreciate the reach that you guys have. And this is the first time for us. This is the second NBA event that we have been, because we're credentialed for Pistons. This is the second NBA event now that Woodward Sports, I and myself as a beat reporter, have been credentialed for. And so this is a good feeling. We're heading in the right direction.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats.
you,
Have fun down there, man.
Thank you, man.
Gonna be courtside for the dunk contest. You're gonna be down there with the celebs.
I gotta see. I know we're in the 100 level, so we are in that lower bowl. 60 minutes before all events, we're able to be on the court. That's why I said we got some streams to do. I'll just send y'all a stream link, and you guys will see it go live and just tap in, chat family, straight up. It's gonna be dope. So we're gonna have the views, man. Hey, hit that like button. It's gonna wake up Woodward.